So, this is about today, what we are doing and how we'll be proceeding towards this. First, it is a real time picture. How it is a real time picture? Because our founder, Mr. Nitin Goswami, will be here sitting with us in the same room and will be sharing his experience that where is the market moving, where it was earlier, and what is the pace that we and you or we can mutually follow to be at the top of our career. Second, industry expertise. We have our guest from the industry of networking only, holding over 25 years of experience in IT networking and currently working at the very big brand like Wipro. And third, a clear roadmap. So, how a clear roadmap? This is what we guys are special in, to give the clear roadmap to the people like you who maybe are wandering in their direction or maybe working in IT or non IT or maybe not having the right field to move on. So this is about today. So here are the 4 hour roadmap and 4 hour map together. How it going to be, in which hour, what we are doing, and how it will be proceeding further. So firstly, the world of networking. Nitin sir will be guiding you with the world of networking and a clear roadmap. Second, about 1 p.m., our technical trainer, Mr. Sunny Singh, will be with you and he will be telling you how the internet really works, plus how it can live capture. Third, by 1:30 p.m., we will be sitting with Nitin sir and he will explain us network security and cloud and where the real money is very important, right? We all want to earn and we all want to be at the top of our career. At 2 p.m., we will be casually taking a break of 15 minutes where you can grab your eatables or drinkables and can be back with the same energy. 2:15, there will be a live quiz. Yes, plus prizes. Very excited. Live quiz and prizes. At 2:30 p.m. Around 2:30 p.m., we will be sitting with Mr. Krishna Kishore. As I told you, he is a leading professional in IT infrastructure domain, working with Wipro, currently handling the networking infrastructure, networking transformation, and working as a GM. By 3:15 again, we will be talking with Nitin sir, who will again explain your roadmap into IT power and our product as NDS. And please stay till the end. Why? Because a live interview question plus a special announcement will be there by the end. So do not miss the end. Moving further, a quick brief why NG Networks, right? So it has been more than 12 plus years in the industry. Yes, 12 plus years of excellence, 12 plus years of making the careers, and 12 plus years of modifying the market. Second, 1.2 million transformations. Yes, you heard it right. It is not just a number. Why? Because every number holds a story within it. So 1.2 million numbers life transformed. It is not just the number, I'm telling you, it is a responsibility. So third, number one placement providers in the space. Yes, it is not just a tag. Again, it is a responsibility. We have been recently again awarded as number one placement providers in India by Hyderabad government and many such prizes before as well. So it is our next feather in hat. Moving further. So guys, the time comes when in my absolute honors, I want to introduce you all to someone who has not just being inspiration, a visionary, he is being a motivation speaker and he has been mentor to many, including me. He's my, favorite person. Why? Because he has been inspirational to many, including me. His story has started almost a decade back where he stunned the market by leaving his own job in HCL and started with something which is a 360-degree of solution for people like you or for maybe people like me. A very which has started like a vision for people who are wondering, people who are nowhere in their career, or people who want the right direction. So I'll tell you, for thousands of students, he was and he is not just a mentor. He became a bridge between dreams and opportunities. His journey is not a story of shortcuts, but it is a story of resilience, hard work, and risk taking. And believe me, this vision and this person who's holding these many things in him, he will be sitting with us in just next some time. He will be sharing this room with us. So with no further delay, we will invite Mr. Nitin Goswami, who is not just the founder and builder of NG Networks, but also is a very important pillar of this dream. So he will be sitting with us in the same room.
Hi Anjali. Hi everyone. So finally I've joined. So guys, I think Anjali has already given you a very good quick start and explained explained about NG networks and little about me also. And she has must explain the objective, the entire start, the main reason of attending this workshop, and how we are going to manage this 4 hour. And she has explained each and everything about like the way we are going to complete this 4 hour. The most important part that we have hide in the last hour, that is the interview questions, which we are going to discuss. That I hope you're really excited to know. So thank you, Anjali. Thank you very much. And so let me take the handover from here. Perfectly fine. So guys, without wasting time, let her stop her screen sharing. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. As you know, my name is Nitin Goswami. I'm the CEO and founder of NG Networks. I started this company by leaving my job. I think that sounds really interesting, and because it's been a time, you're already aware about the NG Networks. But when it is nothing, when it is zero, it is just an idea. It is really difficult to leave the job and start NG Networks. आज हम बहुत अमेजिंग तरीके से इसको करेंगे. पहले मुझे थोड़ा सा आपको बताने दो नेटवर्किंग के बारे में विद माय एक्सपीरियंस. पहले मैं एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ नेटवर्किंग होती क्या है. बिकॉज टेलिंग समवन दैट यू कैन रीच आउट इनटू द 30 to 40 lakh package or whatever it is not possible for someone who just aware about the networking only. If you speak to someone who's already working into the networking, they would be like, seriously, is it possible? I think that is the most important part to make you understand how this thing is possible on this earth. मैं intro दे दूं जल्दी से यार. तो there was a time I was a job seeker. I can easily fit myself in your shoes if you are just looking for the job. अभी आपको सिर्फ जॉब चाहिए, तो अगर आप ऐसा कुछ प्लान करके बैठे हैं, तो I can easily fit myself in your shoes. Point is not about getting into the job. The point here today attending this webinar, how to grow in this domain. That is the most important part. तो इसलिए मैं अपनी स्टोरी बताना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो देयर वाज अ टाइम व्हेन आई वाज अ जॉब सीकर. आई हैव स्ट्रगल्ड अ लॉट फाइंडिंग द राइट इंस्टीट्यूट, फाइंडिंग द राइट ट्रेनिंग. एंड ऑफ द डे व्हाट हैपेंड, आई जॉइंड सर्टिफिकेट्स. गाइस, यू कांट बिलीव द सर्टिफिकेट्स दैट आई हैव डन. The trainings, my father has invested a lot on me for the trainings. Seriously, यार, I'm coming from a very humble background. College की fee देना ही बहुत बड़ी बात थी, and then joining some institute for this hefty fee. Oh my God, that was really really difficult. I think you can easily correlate with that part. So I was talking about it. तो मैंने क्या किया? I joined a course named as CCI Security. So guys, long 1.5 decade before, long time, the fees was 1,65,000. मतलब आप समझ रहे हो? When the gold price was 25 something. 25,000 something that time, my father paid this hefty amount, so we took a loan to pay the fee. But anyhow, so the institute offered me like CCNA, CCNP, then CCNA security, then CCNP security, then finally CCI security. So guys, it takes around 1.5 years to complete all the training, and I'm born and brought up in Delhi, so I went to Bangalore to complete this training. There's a Cisco lab where you have to attend this. CCI security is a lab actually, and I have to attend this lab in Cisco's office, which is in Bangalore itself. But the problem is the lab cost that time, it cost around 1 lakh rupees that time. Again, training fees is so hefty that it is really difficult for me to manage this 1 lakh rupees. Anyhow, if I can manage, the problem is if I want to attempt this lab in Bangalore, the duration to wait is approximately 4 months to 5 months, which is huge. So what is happening? Mostly my batchmates are traveling to Dubai or Hong Kong to attempt this lab. And now what is happening? These institutes, how they prepare, they give you the dumps. Dumps is like a cheat code. So you have to because they know that 2 or 3 types of lab in the market. So you have to prepare these labs. And when you go to the exam center, you will see, oh my God, the similar things is happening. So you have to practice for more than 30-40 days and go and attempt this lab. So people are aware what lab mainly Dubai comes, what lab mainly Hong Kong comes. So people are choosing these places to attend the CCI security exam. So I cannot afford it. So I left, and I just came back from Delhi. There I started my career as a trainer. I just start freelancing training of different certifications, CCNA, with so many trainings. Then I jump into the security, cyber security, everything I have done. But even I was not satisfied, because the day I started, my goal is to get into the job, and blah blah things is happening. So I keep searching, and finally I was taking a corporate batch from where I got some link to get into the job, and I actually landed into the job. So their story changed. When I started the job, I got an opportunity to take few interviews for L1 profile, because I was working as a L2. Oh my God, what I have seen when I was interviewing L1, L1 plus, these guys are coming with the certifications like CCNA, CCNP, MCSC, lot of certification. When I ask something related to the packet, they are unable to understand how to open it up. They never used a Wireshark. Oh my God, they have done these many certification, and that was the time I do understand the certification is just a piece of paper. A lot of things I am going to discuss here. A lot of things, my experience, my thousand of the placement I have done in this past few years. Everything I'm going to share as much as possible in this workshop. Just to stay connected. So I was sharing my story. So this is how when I taking taking the interviews, I understood the gap, and this gap I'm going to cover in the next part of my conversation, which is coming after the technical session. So we'll discuss about this gap. This is very important, and this is the reason I started NG Networks. It was really difficult to take the decision to leave the job and start this thing. So that's my quick story. So finally, I started 5th October 2014. That is the exact date. मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है. That's the exact date when I started NG Networks from Delhi. Then I expand to the southern part of India. हमने 2018 में भी expanded in Hyderabad. 2020 post COVID, I just converted to the EdTech company. Now we are available around the world. You can take sessions anywhere from us. And in 2025, from the India, we expanded to the Asian company. We start our office in Dubai. So this is how we are expanding our hands as much as possible. This is how I'm also giving the international placements and a lot of things we are doing. So let's jump to the main part. Now we are going to talk about networking honestly, how to start and where it can really take you. So if I'm not mistaken, this is something, if I put myself again in your shoes, so my target, if I'm investing my 3 to 4 hour on any workshop, I should be aware how I can reach on the 30 to 40 lakh per annum. Guys, before I start, let me tell you, if you have the right path, this IT companies have ample of money to pay. Let's move on. तो आज हम बात करने वाले हैं this 30 to 40 lakh, ये हम कैसे पहुंच सकते हैं इस पे? Is it possible or not? हमें क्या समझना है? हमें सबसे पहले we need to understand the opportunity. Then we have to understand what network really is. You need to understand exactly networking होती क्या है. What is the staircase of the 30 to 40 lakh? What exactly it is? Learning something that you can reach here, that is not a big deal. I think the most important part, why most people failed into, reach to that level. And now everyone wants to talk about the AI, isn't it? Everyone wants to know about the AI, impact of AI on the networking. Once we are here, we will take what actually it takes. The opportunity is real. So we'll start with the part 1, which says opportunity is real, but it is misunderstood. क्या गलती हो रही है हमसे? We need to talk about it. So networking is hiring. मतलब ये जो network domain है, it's really big. Every company runs on its network. चाहे आप किसी भी sector की बात करो. Any sector you go, whether it's banks, hospitals, airports, every app in your mobile phone, every app you touch, someone has to build it, secure it and keep it alive. ये आप कुछ भी एक्सेस करते हो ना आज के टाइम में, इसको बिल्ड करना पड़ता है, सिक्योर और इसको अलाइव रखना पड़ता है. किसी ने बनाया है वो हमें पता है, लेकिन आज ये आप समझो कि आज कोई भी बन रहा है ना, दिस इज क्रैकिंग. एक बंदे ने एक एप्लीकेशन बना दी, एक बंदे ने फेसबुक बना दी, या एक बंदे ने XYZ एप्लीकेशन बना दी, व्हाटएवर दे बिल्ड, इसके बाद इसको लाइव रखना, इंटरेक्टिव बनाना, सारी चीजों के लिए कोई बंदे चाहिए होते हैं. एंड व्हाई डू सो मेनी पीपल स्टडी एंड गेट सर्टिफाइड स्टिल नॉट गेट प्लेस्ड? आज सबसे पहले हम ये बात समझेंगे, जैसे मैंने अपने एग्जांपल दिया कि मैंने भी बहुत सारे सर्टिफिकेशन किए थे, बट सर्टिफिकेशन वुड नॉट लेट मी गेट इनटू द जॉब, डिड नॉट हेल्प मी टू गेट इनटू द जॉब. और उसका सबसे बड़ा रीजन है, व्हाट इज द बिगेस्ट रीजन हियर? बिकॉज़ मोस्ट पीपल एंटर द रॉन्ग वे, एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू फिक्स. पार्ट 2 पे चलते हैं. नेटवर्किंग इज नॉट अ सिंगल जॉब और अ सिंगल कोर्स. सबसे पहले आपको समझना पड़ेगा व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द नेट. आप आईटी डोमेन के अंदर, एक आईटी इंडस्ट्री है जिसमें दो तरीके से जॉब्स आती हैं. वन इज द सॉफ्टवेयर डोमेन, यू ऑलरेडी अवेयर ऑफ इट, और एक होता है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. आपको याद होगा, मतलब आपने, यू माइट हैव हर्ड दिस वर्ड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, आपने कहीं सुना है नाम? अब इंफ्रा में एक डोमेन होता है जिसका नाम है नेटवर्किंग, यानी ये वो डोमेन है जिसमें सारे जितनी भी कनेक्टिविटी है उन सब पे ध्यान जाता है. अब इस नेटवर्क डिपार्टमेंट को चलाने के लिए वी हैव सो मेनी वेंडर्स, लाइक यू कैन टेक द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ सिस्कोस, जूनिपर, चेकपॉइंट, पैलो, F5. देयर आर सो मेनी वेंडर्स इन द मार्केट. अब ये सारे वेंडर्स अपनी एक सर्टिफिकेशन सेल करते हैं, जैसे सिस्को के CCNA CCNP, जूनिपर के JNCIA, चेकपॉइंट के CCSA, पैलो अल्टो PCNSC, F5 के बिग IPA के सर्टिफिकेशंस होते हैं. देयर आर सो मेनी सर्टिफिकेशंस. नो, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल हु वांट्स टू एंटर इनटू द नेटवर्किंग डाई देयर करियर with the certifications. Why? They reach out to these institutes. They reach out to the one institute who offers Cisco training, so they will join the Cisco training. One institute offer the Juniper training. They will tell that you will get better package from Cisco. They will proceed with the Juniper. Someone says Checkpoint, someone says Palo, someone says F5. And trust me, I'm also offering the training of F5. If I want to make you fool, I can simply ask you, go and search the F5 is a load balancer. Basically, they build the load balancer. Ask you to go and check the packages company offering for this F5 load balancer profile. You will shock to see immediately, and you will say, sir, I want to do this course. And trust me, if you buy this course from me, that is the first step that you have taken wrong direction. Guys, I can write in any white paper, you will not get a job. Because if you want to go this level, you should have some prior knowledge. So for example, if you want to start into the networking, there is a machine that you call server or desktop, whatever it is, it's end user. The very first device connected is a switch. Then we have a router. 80% these devices are made up by Cisco. Then we have rest of the things like firewall, load balancer, whatever it is. And if you don't know how to configure, how to manage these devices, no use of your profile in this domain. So what I have explained, IT में infra में network, and network में Cisco. Let's say, for example, example, if you want to start somewhere, and this is what, let's say, if you either you will start in any domain, but let's say I'm recommending you to Cisco, so they all offer you the tracks as well. Like you have a tracks into the BTech we have, or into the MBAs you have. You can choose IT, CS, civil, a lot of things. Similarly, if you want to go, you're going to manage routing switching profile, the security profile, the data center, the wireless. So it's not a single course. So most of the people, what they do, they will do the routing switching training along with the security training, or take some data center training. Oh my God, they collect a lot of certification, but your profile, actually reach out to the dead level because of not understanding the exact requirement in the market. So this is what we are going to discuss today. Okay, Abhi, keep in the mind. So these tracks I have prepared for you, and I'll answer all these tracks in the further part, not today. So let's move forward. I just want to make you understand, and networking is not just a single job. As I have explained, it's really big. What do you think of? So let me show you. Now, when we talk about if you want to go to the 30, 40 lakh, first I told you that networking itself is really big. The very first thing. Now let's talk about how to reach out at a good level. So it's a layered word. Start with the very first thing, which we call networking, as I recommended. Start with the networking, move to the network security step by step. Let's go step by step, and then go to the cloud. Cloud have two options, either just cloud network or cloud security, which is a part of cyber security. There is something called blue team into the cyber security. So they both are the part of the blue team, नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी एंड क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी. तो मैंने आपको एक प्रूवन पाथ बताया कि नेटवर्क से नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी, और उसके बाद हम क्लाउड में दो ऑप्शन है, क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी और क्लाउड आर्किटेक्ट. वो हम उस पे जाएंगे. पैकेज समझते हैं कैसे हैं, हाउ द पैकेज वर्क्स. सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द स्टेयरकेस टू द 30 to 40 लाख पर. अब इसको बहुत ध्यान से सुनेंगे, कैसे जाना है. सो नो वन कैन जंप, यू हैव टू क्लिम. नो, आई थिंक दिस लाइन गिव्स यू द वेरी गुड एग्जांपल. यू डोंट हैव टू जंप, यू हैव टू क्लिम. गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप. कैसे करेंगे हम उसको? सो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज? द वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग टू स्टार्ट इन नेटवर्किंग. Why networking? You don't bother about your background. Networking is the most beautiful thing that don't bother about your background. It is the part of IT. IT में infra में हम networking में जा रहे हैं. So networking is the most beautiful part. Why? Because आप इसमें कोई भी बंदा start कर सकता है, और हमें एक easy start ले सकते हैं 5 to 6 lakh रुपए. That is a step one. Okay, let's start with the networking. Understand what is network. Then move to the next step, which is the network security. Then add firewalls, IPS, IDS, what we call load balancers. थोड़ा सा little cloud हमें थोड़ा सा, the cloud is not about that cloud. The cloud is like there are few tools which works on the cloud tools है, हमें वो भी आने चाहिए नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी में. और भी बहुत सारे क्लाउड टूल्स हैं. प्रिज्मा आजकल अच्छा चल रहा है. सो आई एम टेलिंग यू, दिस इज द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल पार्ट. पहले हम क्या करते हैं, नेटवर्किंग से अपना करियर बनाते हैं. लेट्स गो विद द वेरी सिंपल, वेरी बेसिक. सो यू कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द नेटवर्किंग, फ्रॉम नो बैकग्राउंड, गेट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ दिस नेटवर्क वर्ल्ड वर्क्स, एड सम ट्रेनिंग, एटलीस्ट 2 firewalls. ठीक है, learn all this concept, learn few add-on things, as I told you, the load balancer, which is F5, Brocade, whatever you feel comfortable, and learn from cloud, that what we are discussing here, and then jump into the network security. Amazing. And network security, till the 20 lakh package, I think they have the open hands. Till the 20. Network security is good till the 20, 22. This is a good to go path. But I'm taking the average. So yeah, people are working into the network security easily. When I use easy means with the experience of 2 to 3 years or 4 years. That's what I want to tell you. Then we will jump to the next part, that is got cloud security. I chose cloud security for you. Why? Because more than 50 podcasts I have done with the people who are working at CISO, CIO, or CTO. These are the top level, top in the hierarchy. Guys, when I spoke to them, I understood one thing. Cloud security is a damn future. Damn future. Bhai, everything is moving to the cloud. Previously, banks are not agreed to move into the cloud. And bank is the biggest player if we talk about data. आप अगर जब data security की बात करते हैं, whenever we use the term security, so banking having the money, क्योंकि bank spend the most money, the major amount of their, the investment is on the security. So if banks are moving on the cloud, that is the change in the world, and it is happening. So cloud security is bigger. But if you tell me, sir, can I go and directly start into the cloud security? Oh my God, you're wasting your time. Do not do some random certifications into the cloud security. You're wasting your time. If I'm running a company, I have my own IT company, I'm working in India and abroad, I'm working for many clients, and trust me, if I'm hiring for this profile, I'm not going to hire someone who don't know what is the networking. किसी को ये तो पता नहीं एक simple packet travel कैसे करता है, and you're telling me that you will provide me the cloud security. Not at all. Go with the right path. जैसा मैंने बताया, network से network security, उसके cloud security. So let's go step by step. It's not a jump, because jump is something which is not related to each other. It is a staircase. It is connected. Staircase में क्या क्या होता है, दे आर कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर, इन सारी रॉड से कनेक्ट रहते हैं, यू विल टेक वन बाय वन, इसमें से एक भी नहीं रहेगा तो यू विल फॉल डाउन, इट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, सो इट इज नॉट अ जंप, इट इज अ स्टेयरकेस, स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलते हैं, हम इसको समझते हैं, हम इस पे बढ़ना शुरू करते हैं, लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पीपीटी। 30-40 लाख इज नॉट a starting salary, no, it's not a starting salary, it is the top of deliberate climb, properly हमें इसके लिए deliberately चढ़ना पड़ेगा, और trust me you can do it, I'll prove in the end, it's not assumption, it's a proven result, मैंने जैसा बोला आपको, it's absolutely reachable, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट पार्ट पे आते हैं, why most people never arrive, क्या गलती होती है बच्चों से, मेजरली ना 3 प्रॉब्लम्स है यार जो मैंने नोटिस करा है। एक, सबसे पहले कलेक्टिंग नॉट डूइंग, अभी आपने क्या करना है, मोस्ट ऑफ यू आप क्या कर रहे होंगे, जैसे अभी सब बताने वाले हैं कि मैंने सीसीएनए कर लिया, सीसीएनपी कर लिया, सीईएच कर लिया, पैलो अल्टो के सर्टिफिकेशन, यू हैव डन हंड्रेड्स ऑफ सर्टिफिकेशन विद यू, एक सर्टिफिकेट के थ्रू इंटरव्यू पे तो क्रैक कर जाते होंगे, बिकॉज एचआर नॉट टेक्निकल, दे विल फिल्टर योर प्रोफाइल विद द हेल्प ऑफ द सर्टिफिकेट्स, बट जॉब नहीं मिल रही है, एंड यू आर इनटू दिस सिचुएशन, आई हैव एम्पल ऑफ ट्रेनिंग्स बट मेरे को जॉब्स नहीं मिल रही है, द फर्स्ट प्रॉब्लम। सेकंड, जंपिंग लेवल, अभी क्या हुआ, किसी ने कह दिया कि ये एक्स डोमेन अच्छा काम कर रहा है, ये वाई डोमेन अच्छा काम कर रहा है, so what mostly student do, because everyone wants to be the richest person in next 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, we human are, you know, this is a human behavior, हमें जल्दी से हमें पता है ना, my friend is jump into the profile which is related to the AI or something with the XYZ domain, वो ML में काम कर रहा है या वो DevOps में काम कर रहा है, and you working somewhere into these operations of the cyber या फिर networking, immediately your mind's like, oh, you are not doing good, let's jump into somewhere else, ऐसा नहीं करना है, don't do this thing, don't chase the fancy words यार, आप fundamentals पे काम करो, as I'm telling you, don't take me as a owner of this company, don't take me otherwise, take me as your elder brother, मैं आपको समझा रहा हूं ना, आप इस फ्लो पे काम करो, स्पीक टू सम फाउंडर, जैसे मैं एक फाउंडर हूं, ऑफ कोर्स ये मेरा वर्कशॉप है तो मैं जरूर अच्छा बोलूंगा, लेकिन आप किसी भी फाउंडर पे जाओ, उससे पूछ व्हाट इज द अर्निंग ऑफ अ फाउंडर इन फर्स्ट 5 इयर्स, कोई भी बंदा जिसने बूटस्ट्रैप से कंपनी स्टार्ट करी हो, नो वन इंक्लूडिंग मी, 5 साल में भी प्रॉफिट नहीं कर पाया अपनी कंपनी में, एवरीवन हैज टू स्ट्रगल, सेम आप लोगों के साथ भी होता है, गिव योरसेल्फ नॉट 5 इयर्स, गिव योरसेल्फ 1 और 2 इयर्स, जस्ट लर्न, दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड जंपिंग लेवल्स, एंड नेवर स्टॉप टू अर्ली, यार मेरा हो गया, मेरे से नहीं हो पा रहा है, कुछ बंदे आते हैं कंफर्टेबल जोन में आ जाते हैं, दे फाइंड अ जॉब, दे आर वर्किंग एज अ नेटवर्क एडमिन, उसको वहां पे L2 बना दिया है, और वो दे आर यू नो कोऑर्डिनेशन विद द क्लाइंट्स, टेकिंग केयर ऑफ फ्यू थिंग्स, एंड दे विल आई एम सेटल नाउ, ऐसा नहीं करो, कीप ग्रोइंग। तो एक तो ये सर्टिफिकेशन ट्रैप से बाहर निकलना है हमें, ये माइंडसेट ही बहुत रिस्की है, इसके बारे में और आगे भी बात करने वाला हूं। फिफ्थ पार्ट, जैसे मैंने स्टार्टिंग में आपको कहा था, द अनदर पार्ट व्हिच इज द इंपॉर्टेंट, एआई, व्हाट अबाउट द एआई, एंड नाउ यू वांट टू नो अबाउट द एआई, एआई इज नॉट अ थ्रेट, इट इज अ मल्टीप्लायर, नाउ you can do a lot of tasks in a day. Let's say when I was a network engineer, daily I have approximately 10 to 15 tickets in my bin, on an average इतनी tickets आती थी मेरे पास, but if I have access to the AI, अभी क्या है, in the companies where they are using the Microsoft Office, so they have their own AI, so companies has Copilot, so what happened, let's say you have, there is a device number switch 10345 something is there, in my days I have to go and manually open the sheet and control F and search, use different formula to locate the device if I got some problem. Now you can simply go to the Copilot and just put into the Copilot and start share the and put some files, make a simple process, and you can do a lot of things in just few minutes. इतना easy हो गया है, amazing हो रहा है। एक important बात ध्यान रखना, networking is the only domain which is the least impacted by AI. Why it is the least impacted? Because networking is physical. Not even in any 100 years, network is always physical. क्योंकि whatever you are using in the world, whether it's a mobile phone, whether it's any other technology, your home appliances which you manage by sitting at your home, you download an application and you can change the temperature of your air conditioner by standing quite far from the car, you can now start a car, turn on the AC of your vehicle, that's all happened because of the networking, okay, there is someone who managed these in the entire world, someone connected the entire globe, just कुछ devices हैं, हम इनको data centers भी कहते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजों के through we connect the entire globe, and it is all happened because of the physical. If we talk about AWS cloud or Azure cloud or Google cloud, what exactly it is the biggest data center, capacity of like infinite right now. They have a physical devices in the cloud, the name is cloud, but they actually have the physical devices, they need a people to manage all these things, the data center. Networking is physical, AI can come and make your work easier, cannot replace you, it is something that physically required people. तो AI से मैंने जैसे आपको बताया, AI does the boring काम, जो भी आपका ये सर्च लगाना था, जो भी था, सारी चीजें, आपको मेन ट्रबल शूटिंग जंप करनी है, नाउ यू हैव टू टेक द डिसीजन फॉर द ट्रबल शूटिंग, और इसके बाद आता है फाउंडेशन। foundation first. AI only helps if you understand what is doing. Fundamentals comes first. अभी क्या, let's say I have to prepare this PPT. जैसे मैंने PPT बनाई, मैंने कमांड दिया, मैंने प्रॉम्प्ट दिया कि सेक्शन 1 क्या चाहिए, सेक्शन 2 क्या चाहिए, मैंने एक डॉक फाइल बनाई, आई एम प्रिपेयर अ डॉक फाइल, उसमें मैंने सारे मेरे को क्या चाहिए ना सारी चीजें डाली किसी भी लैंग्वेज में, हिंदी इंग्लिश वॉट एवर, उसको फिर दोबारा से मैंने प्रॉम्प्ट बनाया एक एआई पे डाल के कि मेरे को एक प्रॉम्प्ट बना के दे कि मुझे एक अपने वेबिनार के लिए वर्कशॉप के लिए एक प्रेजेंटेशन बनानी है, और उस प्रॉम्प्ट से मुझे प्रॉम्प्ट मिल गया, और फिर उसको मैंने सेम उसी एआई से प्रॉम्प्ट बनाया, उसी एआई को वो प्रॉम्प्ट दिया कि मुझे एक प्रेजेंटेशन बना के दे दे। फिर प्रेजेंटेशन जो आई उसमें बहुत सारी मिस्टेक्स थी, मैंने वो सारी मिस्टेक्स उसको फिर दोबारा डॉक पे मैंने सारी मिस्टेक ठीक करी और दोबारा से प्रॉम्प्ट दिया और उसको ठीक कराया। अगर मुझे नहीं पता होगा व्हाट इज माय पर्पस ऑफ द वर्कशॉप, अगर मुझे नहीं पता होगा व्हाट आई हैव टू टेल यू इनटू द वर्कशॉप, और मैं सिर्फ कोई पीपीटी बनवा लेता, इट इज यूजलेस। तो आपको कॉन्सेप्ट फाउंडेशन आपकी क्लियर होना चाहिए। इवन यू हैव टू एक्सेस द एआई। एआई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, लेकिन फाउंडेशन, वो कहते हैं ना कि अगर आपको ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि इफ यू डोंट नो द कोडिंग तो आपको अब एआई आ गया तो कोडिंग की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है। गाइस आई कैन टेल यू, आई कैन राइट ऑन एनी पेपर कि आप किसी भी, आपको कोडिंग नहीं आती, आप एआई करके और जो भी बनाओगे ना उसमें आप बग्स लाओगे ही लाओगे, अनटिल अनलेस आपके पास बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग या फंडामेंटल्स नहीं हो। तो एआई इज नॉट अ थ्रेट, इट इज अ एड ऑन टू योर प्रोफाइल। आगे बढ़ते हैं, अब देखते हैं इसको चाहिए क्या हमें। थ्री थिंग्स। पहला, आपको यू हैव टू बिल्ड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फंडामेंटल्स, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ द नेटवर्क वर्क्स। एक नेटवर्क काम करता कैसे है। दो डिवाइसेस आपस में रखे हुए हैं, स्टैंडिंग समवेयर इन बैंगलोर एंड आई हैव अ फ्रेंड हु इज और समवन इन माय कंपनी इज वर्किंग इन दुबई। So how immediately we connect with each other, what happened in between the interstates, और वो जो भी communication है वो हो कैसे रहा है। Second, real time hands on, या real world में when you become a network engineer, what is your day to day responsibility? Are you seriously join a company and configure the entire data center? No, it's not that true. तो हमें ये भी समझना होगा कि आपको real world hands on क्या है, और mindset. I think that is the most important part. It should be on the first, but I kept it on the three क्योंकि first you need to understand this thing and then curiosity. You go anywhere in the part, go with the curiosity, don't go with that money minded. Although मैंने आपको यहाँ पे पैसा देख के बुलाया, I also use a marketing trick that put the figure something to catch an eye. It's a simple, I have a marketing team तो उनको पता है क्या डालना है, but let me tell you, I'm a teacher, I'm a trainer, I'm a guy who just help the people to shape the career. मैं बता रहा हूँ कि the most important thing is the curiosity. Curiosity कुछ भी हो सकती है। I left the job because I have a curiosity to do something big. Without curiosity you cannot do it. अब देखेंगे नेटवर्क काम कैसे करता है। लाइव एग्जांपल देखेंगे। We have our trainer today, Sunny Singh. Sunny almost requested more than 10 to 15 training institute, the biggest training institute, they have invited Sunny as a trainer. I don't know why he's still with the NG Networks. He's an amazing guy, amazing knowledge.
Thank you very much for your introduction, sir. So, what I am going to show you today, before starting anything, let me just introduce myself, guys. So, myself, Sunny Singh, and I'm a technical trainer at NG Networks. So, what is my roles and responsibilities over here, guys? Very simple. A guy came like you, and my simple responsibility is to make the complex thing look easier. So, what is my job over here? To very simple, like I'm a trainer and I make the things which are looking complex look very real, very understandable, very practical in such a manner that you can understand and get a good job. So I have been a part of many journeys that has been already changed, and it feels great, and I will definitely be showing you something like definitely you have come here and you will learn today. Okay guys, so I'll be just sharing my screen, guys. So let us start, guys. So how the internet really works, very good question to hear. It is like, what is internet? Just your understanding, what you came in your mind like when you see the word internet in your side. So let me take it to the very layman language, what exactly internet refers to. Internet means inter networking. Obviously networking is something through which we are communicating with each other, and ultimately I am existing in a different location and you are existing in a different location, still we are able to communicate because I am existing in another network and still you are existing in the another network, but still we are communicating with each other, means inter-networking is happening. Now what is this inter-networking, how I'm able to communicate with you? Let's see something. So how two devices actually talk to each other, like what are the devices, what are the things, how the network is formed, what is included in this network, we'll understand. Let's say for an example, guys, I'm residing in Delhi and I want to send a letter someone in the Bangalore. How actually it will happen? So obviously you will write a letter first. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? You will write a letter. Now then, after writing the letter, what will happen? You will just send this letter to the post office. Similarly, if you are having a device, guys, currently I am also connected somewhere in Delhi, India, and you might be approximately anywhere across the India or globe. How exactly it is working? Let's try and understand it. Or let me say that some is working in the USA. Then how the data is traveling from this device to this device, and this is what? This is a network. Now let me just tell you what is this switch, what is this router, what exactly they are doing. Let's try to understand with this particular scenario. So if I'm talking about my device, then this is a PC. Similarly, I'm sending a letter to someone. Now, if I'm sending a letter to someone, what is the first step where it is going to be sent? It is going to be sent to the local post office, guys. It will be going to send to the local post office. Why it's going to be sent to the local post office? Because that local post office will decide which is the gateway. Obviously, the post office will be having their own network. Some post in the Delhi itself, they will be having 20-25 post office. Now they will decide which will be the best post office through which I need to transmit, and this postal service should be sent to which particular services so that it can get reach much faster or in a shortest manner. So it is reached to the local post office. Now this local post office, just consider this as a switch. Switch is a device which will make you communicate within your local area network. Means your locally, if you want to communicate within your home, let's suppose you do have 10 people in your home, but you still have a single router and you need to connect 10 devices. Then what you are going to do? It's a question, guys. If you want to connect that much devices with the help of a cable, I hope everyone has used the cable to connect the laptop or computer to the router, right? But if you are connecting that cable, how it has been connected? With a port. But if that ports are not available, how you can connect? You will purchase a switch that is, which will make the communication possible within your local internet, guys. Means within your house. So that switch will be termed as a local post office, which will take your letter, and now this local post office will be deciding which mail service it needs to use. There are multiple courier partners who are sending your data, like there are Blue Dart and etc companies are there. Now this post office service will decide which particular service they want to chase and who will send your particular letter. Similarly, this switch will decide which will be your router, like which will be your gateway. Gateway means the door through which you are going to send the data to the internet. So now this C is a customer edge router of a Delhi. That means the router through which you are going to the internet, and then this router will be acting as a post office, send it to the right city. Means like that mail service that I'm choosing. From this mail service, it reaches to the local post office, data reaches to the destination. Now what is this? This is where the word internet comes into the picture. I am sending the data, I am using my own router. You are receiving the data, you are using your own router. But how exactly this data has been sent and received through you? It's with the help of internet, guys. Now this is where the internet is coming. I'm just naming something that is particularly, this is the device of Delhi, India, and this is the device of California, USA. Let's suppose in my location, the ISP stands for Internet Service Provider, who is a Geo. Similarly, there will be an ISP in the California that will be AT&T and etc. So they will be using that particular C, like here. It will be reached to that particular California through the AT&T service provider. But how this Geo and AT&T are connected? That is also again a question, because Geo is only having the connectivity within an India. But how I am able to communicate with the California? That is a very big question. So you must have heard about a word during the wars that they were telling about, if the war is happening, there will be also effect to the internet. How it exactly? Because there are ocean cables that are connecting all across the globe. So the data will be traveling from your ISP to that particular ocean cables to the another country, and that ISP will gather that data and transmit to you. Similarly, like the post office services, like I have sent my letter to the post office in the Delhi location, that is XYZ, any particular location. Now it will find the best path. It will find the best path. It is not like that there are only 4 or 5 routers connected and you are just sending that particular data through that router. Router means it is finding the route through which you want to send your data. Obviously, if you want to go from A location in your city as well to the B location, there are multiple paths. There are multiple routers, like there are multiple paths. If you want to go from A location to the B location, how you are going to decide which is your best path? There will be multiple factors: less traffic, less kilometers, right? Similarly, the routers will be also having multiple decision factors through which they will decide that which path is the best path, and from that best path it will send the particular destination and it will reach to the California. And once the California is reached, it will again send to the switch, that is the local area network. Obviously it will be sending within a local area network, and then after the device which is existing in the California will be reachable. So these are the things which I am sending on the letter. Let me take you to the very layman term, guys. If I need to send any packet, so what I'll do, I'll simply do one thing. I'll create a parcel and I will type the name, address and a contact number. We are writing these 3 things. Now the again question comes, it is easier to understand if we are humans, guys. Similarly, if the data packet is traveling from the source, let's suppose it is traveling from the Delhi to the California, how do the device from Delhi is understanding the data is is received, or how the California device is able to understand the data has been sent to me or anyone else. So they will also require certain things to identify, right? So they will require basically port numbers, then they will require a MAC address, and they will require an IP address. These three are the things that are hidden inside the data packet. Obviously, you are sending the letter as a parcel from one location to the another location. Similarly, data will be also sent in the form of data packet. Then data packet is known as packet data unit. क्या कहते हैं उसे? Packet data unit. Now, what is this PDU stands for? Like, it is having port number, MAC address, and IP address. Similarly, let's try to understand why do we give the name? To identify a person. But do the name will make you different from anyone else? Because my name is Sunny. Similarly, there are multiple people naming the Sunny in my society as well. My name is Sunny. The parcel is raised to me. Will it justify or will it differentiate from everyone else? No, because my name is Sunny. Similarly, there are multiple names, but surname can also not be different. It is possible that if I am Singh, then there are 15 people in my society as well who are Singh. So that will also not differentiate. What will differentiate, guys? By plot number. Or you can simply say the physical address. My home address cannot be anyone else's home address. It can be across the globe. It is very unique. It's a globally unique. Similarly, this MAC address, this address is giving you the physical location of your place. So same, what is this MAC address doing? It is telling you the physical location of your device, guys. This is a misconception that if something is attacked or anything is hacked, everyone thinks that the IP is hacked, but it's not exactly the IP is hacked. It's hacked about your MAC address. Exactly, the attacker is able to grab your MAC address and get into your device. Then only the data can be stolen. That is how exactly the hacking terminologies also work. So for that as well, you need to have a better understanding how the network exactly behaves or network exactly travels. So the MAC address is a physical address of a device. When I talk about the contact number, it is for the communication purpose, guys. So now if I'm communicating with you guys, that means I am having a language and you are also understanding that language, and we are able to communicate with you. Similarly, if my device is communicating with you, it also require a language. That language will be what? IP address. So that IP address will become a communication language when I am sending a data from my device to your device. So let's have a quick scenario how exactly the data is working. Here I have drawn a scenario. I hope the screen is visible to everyone. So let's say this is a Delhi. I am here in Delhi, and this is a device that is in California. That is in California, guys. Now this is how the data is traveling from one source to the another source. So this is how the California device, I am opening that particular device and I'm checking if I'm sending from California to the Delhi, my data is reaching or not. So this is where the internet comes. This is a CE Delhi, that is customer as Delhi, the router of mine through which I am receiving the data. And this is the CE California, where the router I am receiving the data. Now I have opened the California site. I have pinged 10.1.10, that is California. See, it has first been sent to the switch. Now let us try to understand what are the things that are basically required if I want to send any packet from my device to your device. So basically there are three things. Remember, guys, a port number, a MAC address, and a IP address. So port number is used to identify a particular service. Let's suppose if I'm using a google.com, if I'm using a youtube.com, you all have seen one thing, that it is using HTTP or HTTPS. So it will not differentiate that you are using Google, YouTube, or anything. There are web servers, HTTP or HTTPS, which will host crores of websites. So it will not differentiate. Like my name. My name is Sunny. Similarly, according to my name, there are multiple people as well. So it will not differentiate the packet. Now it comes to the physical location, because my home address, which is globally unique, guys, that will differentiate the packet and will make you understand what exactly I want to do and where exactly I want to send, right? If am I having a MAC address, similarly your MAC address is the physical location of your device, guys. Now you might be thinking, sir, आप कैसे बोल सकते हो? How you can say it is a physical location? So everyone has seen the port, guys. In your laptop or computer, there is a port where you connect a LAN cable. There is a physical port through which you connect the cable. So that physical port is attached when the laptop is being manufactured. So that is why we say that laptop is having a physical MAC address, because in this NIC it is known as NIC, that is network interface card. We do have a MAC address stored in that, because physically stored किया जा रहा है. It is a physical stored and physical MAC address is there. Now if I want to communicate with you, I require a language to transfer our data with each other. So that data is nothing but IP address will be becoming a communication language, and we are able to communicate with each other and we are able to exchange the data with each other. Now let us see the packet packets, how it is traveling. First of all, when I have pinged from this device, it has reached to the switch. Now switch is doing what? Switch is trying to find the MAC address. By default तो MAC address पता नहीं होगा, मेरे को क्या पता है? I am having an IP address and I need to find the MAC address. So what I'll do? I will send a request packet. If I need to have a communication with you guys, what do I require? I require two things. I say something to you, that is a request to you. If you acknowledge or give me a reply, the communication will be completed. So that communication will be completed if you acknowledge something. So similarly, I need to find the MAC address. So first packet will be sent to the switch. Switch will find the MAC address. Let's try to see the switch. How it is finding the MAC address, guys. See, now the switch has sent the packet to this router. Still does not find, like it will give a reply that this is my gateway. Gateway means router is going to decide what is the best path through which it is going to send the data ahead. So now it has been telling that the path is ahead. Now again the packet will be sent to this router and then this router will carry this packet to ahead. This is how it will be decided. Like when you send a letter, guys, you go to the post office will give you the acknowledgement slip. It will be having a tracking ID in that. The same thing, it has given an acknowledgement, the MAC address of its own. Then it is taking the data forward to the next router, that is ISP USA. It is taking it to the ISP Delhi. Now this ISP Delhi will take it to the customer as Delhi. That is the router of mine, like who is existing in Delhi. Now it has reached to the switch. It will decide locally where the data needs to be sent and the devices received that particular data. This packet is known as ICMP, guys. If you just see this packet, you will be able to understand. It will make you understand, guys, how the packet I am trying to say. If I have opened this packet, what is there? On the layer, that is IP header. It is containing the IP address. Source IP is 51110 that I am receiving from California. That IP is 51110. So like here IP, I am able to see that I have received the packet because it has requested me a packet that I want to communicate with you. So source IP is 51110. That is the California device and destination IP is 10110. That is my device. Means I have received the successful packet over here. And then it will be having the MAC addresses, guys. That Ethernet header, that is a layer 2. This is the source MAC address and this is the destination MAC address. This means this is my source and this is my destination MAC address. Now what will happen, guys? I have received the packet. Now my responsibility is to move that packet ahead. Just think about it. आपको मैंने कुछ बोला. I have said something to you and if you are not giving me a reply, how would I be able to understand that you are understanding the concept or not? So now this what will do? It is going to generate a reply. Let's see how the reply will be generated. See, the packet is traveling again back. See over here, backside it is traveling. Here it is telling the three particular things, that the port numbers, MAC address and IP address. It has reached to here. Now again going to the California, it is generating a reply. There are two packets when I ping, guys. One is ARP and another one is ICMP. First of all, ARP is an address resolution protocol which is responsible to find the MAC address, guys, your physical location. I hope everyone understands this point, that you do require the MAC address to communicate with anyone else. I am having the IP address through which I want to communicate, but I don't know the MAC address. So I need to find the MAC address. To know the MAC address, what do I require? You must have seen it has sent a packet first here. So that packet was ARP. ARP was doing what? It is resolving the address. That is, it is resolving the MAC address. That is known as address resolution protocol. Means it will resolve some address for you. It will tell you the MAC address of the destination, guys. कि MAC address क्या है, कहाँ पे आपको जाना है. Then after you know the MAC address, then another packet was sent, that is ICMP. That is Internet Control Message Protocol, which will check the reachability. सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन तो आपके दिमाग में ये आना चाहिए. You should have one question in your mind that ये ping क्यों किया? Here I have right now. You must have seen I have written ping 10.1.1.10. Means why do I have write the ping? So ping is a program or a command through which you can understand your device data is reachable to the destination or not. मतलब आपको ये भी तो पता होना चाहिए कि जो भी पैकेट मैंने डेस्टिनेशन पे भेजा है वो पहुंचा कि नहीं. Just think about it. You have sent a letter to the destination. How you will be came to know that it has been reached? You receive a call from the person that I have received a letter. In the same manner, digitally when the data packet is traveling, this ICMP packet will take the responsibility to check the reachability, guys. To check the network reachability between the devices, whether the data is, let's say you call a friend. I say, how are you? Your friend say, I am here. Now what will happen? You know that connection is reachable. Then after you start your conversation, right? In the same manner, what will happen when I send a ping request? जब मैं ping भेजता हूँ, it will carry an ICMP echo request. क्या करता है ये? ICMP echo request भेजता है. Like it will try to understand whether the network is reachable or not. But By default, you know the destination IP address, but you don't know the destination MAC address. And MAC address is a physical address. Until and unless you don't know the physical address, you cannot send the data, guys. For that reason, what we'll do, we'll send an ARP packet, that is an address resolution protocol packet, which will find the MAC address for you. Once you know your MAC address, आपको आपके घर का पता चल चुका, you know the destination MAC address, then after this ICMP echo request will be sent, and once you receive the reply, you are able to see this packet. This is how it will receive the replies. Once you receive a reply, then at that time you will be understanding that I am having a satisfaction. Once I am sending the data, I am receiving the reply. Now there are multiple things written on the ping. You will be able to understand, like RTO. RTO मतलब packet drop होता है, and this is a time ms, that is millisecond times. You are able to see 21 ms, 28 ms, 29 ms. Sometimes what will happen, you are sending a request but you are not receiving a reply, so that ms will make sure that you should receive a reply within the time frame very faster. And this TTL will show how many hops. Hops means how many devices are between the source and the destination. If I'm sending my data to you, how many devices are there? Let's suppose this is my screen and I'm pinging the google.com. This is my device. I'll open a Wireshark tool where I'll ping the google.com, and then just do one thing. You have to open the Wi-Fi. You will be having, everyone will be connected with the Wi-Fi. Open this Wi-Fi, double click on that. There are live packets. These are the tools that are currently being used by me. So these are the live packets that have been captured. What I have done, I have pinged www.google.com. Once google.com I have pinged, I am receiving a reply. This is TTL. TTL is saying that this is a number of hops. By default, TTL is 128. See, I have stopped the packet. Now let me just open the packet and show you. These are the packets through which I am able to understand whether my packet is reachable or not. This is where ICMP echo request is working on, ICMP echo reply is working. Request means you are understanding where basically the data is reaching to the destination, and reply means whether you are receiving a reply. Reply जब भी आएगा जब आपको वहां तक डेटा पहुंच जाएगा. See, these are the fields that are been over there. This is version 6. IP are having two versions, version 4 and version 6. Currently we are using version 4 as a primary and version 6 as a backup. These are the TCP protocols if you are using browsing. Are you able to see ICMPs and the packets? Very first is the ICMP echo request. See, request will be sent from my device to the Google. I'll open the ICMP packet, guys. Just open that. Are you able to see internet protocol version 4, source 192.168.1.7, and destination is 142.251.152.119. Now let me validate you guys that this is my source IP address and this is my destination IP address. Now how do I validate? This is the header length. There are some fields inside the IP header. So obviously if you send something, आप उसके अंदर कुछ लिख के ही भेजोगे. These are the contents that are been executed over here. If I need to see my IP address, what is my IP address? What I do, I'll type ipconfig/all, and then I'm able to see that this is my IP address 192.168.1.7. And if you see in the packet, guys, it is visible source address as 1.7 and destination will be Google IP, that is 142.251.152.119. And similarly, when I open the reply, guys, reply में देखो कहां से आ रहा है, it is source address is changed. Now Google is replying to me. Similarly, if you want to see the MAC address, guys, just see source MAC and destination MAC address. So source is Google and destination is, currently I'm opening the reply packet. That's I am saying. All are converted into the binary if you see over here, guys. Ultimately, these packets you are able to understand. Why? Because it is written in your language, but computers only understand the language which is written into the binary format, guys. Now, when we talk about destination or source, you will see that source is this Intel. This is my processor name, and how you can validate that this is my MAC address. Just see 98FE3F5F. Just see over here. So this is how exactly the ping and ARP works. Like when I'm sending the data, some protocols, these are just some protocols that are working behind, but to understand this protocol, you just need some things that are the things which are working to you beside you. If you want to understand the networking or internet, it's very simple. Internet is nothing but the thing which is aside you, like जो आपके आजू बाजू की चीजें वही है internet. You need to analyze the things, analyze the patterns. It will be just. So what are the things which will working over here? Get a quick review, guys. So here it is written DNS, guys. What is this DNS? So DNS stands for domain name system. मैंने क्या लिखा था अपने device पे? www.google.com, right? I have not written the IP address when I was pinging. So this DNS will do what? It is a server which will include the domain name and it will convert in the IP address. You must have seen the IP address like 142 and something. So this was the Google IP that it has fetched, but where it has been fetched from? It has been fetched from the DNS. Now this router will be acting as the gateway which will take your data to the server, that is your Google server. Now this Google server was replying with the help of ICMP echo reply. You have seen the packet in the ping. So this is how exactly the data is working beside the network. Elaborate about the DNS. So DNS stands for domain name server or domain name system. It is a domain name system. Just think about it, guys. There are crores of web servers, enginetworks.com or google.com, facebook.com, youtube.com, amazon.com, xyz. There are crores of websites that are been working in this particular world. It is not easier to understand. It is like the phone book of the company or phone book of the internet, guys. Are you able to understand everyone phone number? Do you remember, guys? Answer is no. We cannot remember everyone's phone number. So what do? We create a contact list and we save them. यही करते हैं ना, मेरे को सबका फोन नंबर तो याद हो नहीं सकता, तो मैं अपने कॉन्टेक्ट लिस्ट में उनको ऐड करता जाऊंगा, उनका नंबर और उनके नेम के साथ. So the DNS is the phone book of the internet which will store the domain name, that is ngnetworks.com, google.com, facebook.com with the IP address. What is the IP address of that particular server? So this phone book is a domain name server. So my request has reached to the DNS server first, and then DNS server find the IP address, and then it has been routed to the router. It will find the best path. It will find the way. ये रास्ता ढूंढेगा कि आपको भेजना कहां से. It is a gateway exactly through which the data is transmitted to the server, and once the server has received, जैसे ही सर्वर को डेटा पहुंच चुका है, then server is going to give a reply to me. That is a ICMP echo reply. So this is a very fundamental flow of network. So that's all from my end.
Perfectly fine. Okay, so let's continue. Thank you, Sunny, for joining us, and really amazing conversation you had. Thank you, Sania.
Thank you very much.
So now let's move to the next part as we are into the afternoon now. So you have seen, अभी आपने देखा कि packets कैसे काम करते हैं. You have seen how Sunny was explaining the network data, how it flows, how it works, how network एक्चुअली मूव्स डेटा. हमने एक सोर्स से दूसरी दो सोर्स पे देखा. बहुत अमेजिंग से एग्जांपल बहुत अच्छा दिया. वो जो टेलीग्राम वाला एग्जांपल दिया वो बहुत ब्यूटीफुल एग्जांपल था कि आई थिंक दैट इज द राइट वे टू एक्सप्लेन हाउ एग्जैक्टली द डेटा फॉलो, मतलब कैसे काम करता है. अब हम देखते हैं सेम फॉर्मेट में ना, वी विल एक्सप्लेन कि यार अगर इसमें पैसा हमें कमाना है इस डोमेन के अंदर तो हाउ वी कैन डू इट. मैं ऑलरेडी आपसे बात कर चुका हूं कि हमने डिसाइड किया कि पहले नेटवर्क समझते हैं. उससे आपने देखा हाउ डेटा मूव फ्रॉम वन साइड टू अनदर साइड. देन वी विल लर्न हाउ टू सिक्योर दैट नेटवर्क एंड देन हाउ टू ऑन द क्लाउड. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि क्लाउड कैसे काम. These are the 3 steps that we are trying to explain here. अब हम देखते हैं कि कैसे इस पे जा सकते हैं. सबसे पहले बात करूंगा, we need to understand the term that is called scarcity. Far more people can run a network. आपको पता है जैसे आप नेटवर्क सीखोगे तो there are a lot of people in the market. Those are already aware with this term. कुछ लोग आपको मिलेंगे that they are also giving you the interview along with that. तो हमारे पास क्या है कि हमारे को नेटवर्क चलाने वाले लोग मिल सकते हैं बट डिफेंड करने वाले ज्यादा नहीं मिलते. अभी क्या होता है, पीपल गेट इनटू द जॉब सीधा नेटवर्क में कहीं से वो सिस्टम एडमिन स्टार्ट करते हैं मोस्ट प्रोबेबली एज अ सिस्टम एडमिन एंड देन स्टे 3 to 4 years और 5 years इन द सेम डोमेन. देन वो कहीं पे L1 प्लस या L2 से स्टार्ट कर देते हैं इनटू द नेटवर्किंग. दे स्पेंड अ गुड टाइम. मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल व्हेन दे डोंट हैव अ राइट पाथ तो इसी तरीके से स्टार्ट करते हैं फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक. तो नेटवर्क में हमें बंदे मिलेंगे लेकिन हमें उन्हें डिफेंड करने वाले बंदे कम मिलेंगे और जितना स्कार्स स्किल होगा उतना हायर प्राइस होगा. जितनी ज्यादा उस चीज की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी उतना प्राइस बढ़ता जाएगा. स्कार्सिटी. सेकंड, स्टेक्स. आपको पता है कंपनी को एक सिंपल सा ब्रीच कॉस्ट इन करोड़. आई होप यू ऑलरेडी अवेयर ऑफ इट. इतनी सारे न्यूज सुनते होंगे. मेरे मैनेजर थे when I was in HCL. उन्होंने मुझे एग्जांपल बताया था कि he was working for a project. I cannot open the name. I cannot use the name of that the project name. But they are the into the stock exchange. उनका स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का बहुत बड़ा स्टॉक एक्सचेंज था. तो उन्होंने उसका प्रोजेक्ट किया था. तो he says कि उन्होंने जो स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का जो प्रोजेक्ट उठाया था तो द सिंगल मिनट डिले इज $1 million या इस तरीके से बना हुआ था कि अगर उन्होंने मुझे एक्सप्लेन किया कि कंपनी ने इतना बड़ा स्टेक लिया था वो प्रोजेक्ट लेने के लिए स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का कि अगर वो जो डिले थी उनकी डिले आवर थी वो कुछ लंबा टाइम चल जाती तो जितनी कंपनी ने जो प्रोजेक्ट लिया था ना उसकी टोटल वर्थ इतनी थी जितना उसमें लॉस. रियली बिग. बहुत बड़ी चीज है यार ये. और तीसरा, ट्रस्ट. एक सिक्योरिटी रोल्स बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है किसी भी बिजनेस के लिए. इवन फॉर माइंड. मुझे भी डर लगता है. सिक्योरिटी इज ऑलवेज द फर्स्ट चॉइस. ये 3 चीजें जो मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन करी. क्लाउड से एक चीज समझनी होगी. क्लाउड नेवर किल द नेटवर्किंग. आई हैव सीन द स्टूडेंट हैविंग द माइंडसेट कि सर क्लाउड है. क्लाउड से होगा तो नेटवर्किंग का क्या होगा. नहीं. एवरी क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म इज अ नेटवर्क. मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया ना, वेदर इट्स AWS क्लाउड, इट्स Azure क्लाउड. वो क्या है? दे हैव अ बिगर डेटा सेंटर, बिगेस्ट डेटा सेंटर यू कैन से इन द मार्केट. वो सब नेटवर्क डिवाइसेस ही तो यूज करते हैं. द सर्वर्स व्हिच इज कनेक्टेड टू द डिफरेंट लेयर ऑफ द डिवाइसेस टू मेक देम कनेक्ट विद द एंटायर वर्ल्ड. जितने डेटा सेंटर बढ़ रहे हैं, आई होप यू हैव रीड द न्यूज की मार्केट में इंडिया हैज मेड सो मेनी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स. डेटा सेंटर्स आ रहे हैं इंडिया में, बहुत सारे लगने वाले हैं. सो दैट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द नेटवर्क इंजीनियर्स उतनी मिलती जा रही है, और जितना वो मिलता जाएगा उतना जितना क्लाउड बढ़ेगा उतनी हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ती जाएगी. तो इट्स अ बिगर वर्चुअल एंड ग्लोबल लेवल. द इंजीनियर्स हु अंडरस्टैंड द नेटवर्क अंडरनीथ द क्लाउड आर द वन डिजाइनिंग द सिस्टम. बहुत बहुत जरूरी है अगर इवन यू वांट टू गो इनटू द क्लाउड, अगर आप नेटवर्क से स्टार्ट कर. मैं एक फ्लो बताता हूं आपको बहुत सिंपल सा. लेट मी क्रिएट अ फ्लो. मैं क्या एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि हम अपने फंडामेंटल समझते हैं कि एक पैकेट ट्रैवल कैसे करता है, और जब वो ट्रैवल करता है तो उसमें इश्यूज कैसे कैसे आते हैं, वो हम कहां से कर सकते हैं. वी कैन स्टार्ट विद द नेटवर्किंग. नेटवर्किंग में मैंने फ्लो आपको बताया, आईटी में इंफ्रा, इंफ्रा पे नेटवर्क, और नेटवर्क पे मैंने कहा हम सिस्को जैसे एग्जांपल स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. और उसमें ट्रैक बताए थे, तो एक राउटिंग स्विचिंग बहुत बेसिक सा ट्रैक होता है. यू कैन स्टार्ट देयर. बहुत बहुत बेसिक है और अमेजिंग है. हम यहां से अपना करियर बिल्ड करना शुरू करते हैं. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद दैट पार्ट. फिर आगे हम क्या करेंगे आफ्टर स्पेंडिंग एटलीस्ट 1 ईयर, मतलब आप जाके जॉब स्टार्ट करो, स्पेंड 6 मंथ इन दी जॉब एंड देन स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग योरसेल्फ. सबसे पहले क्या पढ़ना शुरू करो, फायरवॉल्स. एटलीस्ट 2 फायरवॉल करेंगे, एक लोड बैलेंसर करेंगे एंड जंप इनटू दी नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी को. सिमिलरली जैसे आप नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी में जाएंगे तो आप अपने थर्ड इसमें एटलीस्ट आप 1 ईयर इसमें भी काम करो आप, एंड स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी के बारे में आप पढ़ना शुरू करो. क्लाउड के बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट हैं, चाहे वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के हो, सेंटिनल या कोई भी प्रोडक्ट हो, आप सीधा क्लाउड के लिए प्रिपरेशन अपनी शुरू करो और जंप इनटू द क्लाउड. एक बहुत सिक्योर पाथ है, क्योंकि क्या होता है मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स जो मैंने देखे, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल when they start and land into the job like networking and network security में, once they reach out to the 20 lakh package, find themselves in a comfortable zone. वो बंदे भूल जाते हैं कि मुझे और पढ़ना है, मुझे ग्रो करना है. ये बहुत लंबा टाइम नहीं लगता है, इट्स वेरी शॉर्ट पीरियड. ये बहुत बड़ी गेम नहीं है. यू कैन डू इट वे इजीली अगर आप ठीक तरीके से चलते हैं. और मैंने कहा ना, सिर्फ मैं वर्बल एजम्पशन नहीं दूंगा, मैं आपको प्रूवन रिजल्ट दूंगा. तो मैंने आपको 3 चीजें बताई, 3 स्टेजेस. पहले इसको समझते हैं. नेटवर्क डोमेन मैंने बताया, हमारा टारगेट पहले क्या रहेगा, नेटवर्क इंजीनियर एक टारगेट रहेगा कि एटलीस्ट एक टारगेट टू 7 लाख अप्रोक्सीमेटली, इतना टारगेट लेके चलो दैट आई शुड बी वर्किंग ऑन इट. कंपनीज को क्या चाहिए, दे नीड समवन अंडरस्टैंड द राउटिंग एंड स्विचिंग, हाउ दिस टीसीपी आईपी वीलैन्स एंड एवरीथिंग वर्क्स. दे नीड समवन हु नोज द अंडरस्टैंडिंग हाउ द पैकेट. फॉरगेट अबाउट द सर्टिफिकेट. ये मैंने पीपीटी फर्स्ट पार्ट में एक्सप्लेन किया था कि फॉरगेट अबाउट द सर्टिफिकेट्स, लेट्स फोकस ऑन द कंपनीज रिक्वायरमेंट. दे नीड बेसिकली कि सीसीएनए लेवल को भी आप प्रूव कर दो, इतना काम भी चलेगा. इसमें क्या हमें अपनी कुछ लैब्स बनानी है, वायरशार्क जो अभी बहुत ब्यूटीफुली एक्सप्लेन किया सनी ने, अपने हमें पोर्टफोलियो क्रिएट करना. सबसे पहले हमें नेटवर्किंग क्रैक करना है, तो एक्सप्लेन करते हैं नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी का. यहाँ पे 14-15 लाख तो मिनिमम लेके चलो, टिल यू कैन ग्रो. अगर आपके पास रियल टाइम एक्सपीरियंस हो जाएगा तो आप इस पे जा पाओगे. इसमें हमें फोकस, जैसे मैंने बताया आपको, फायरवॉल्स पे फोकस करना है, रिस्पॉन्सेज कैसे मैनेज करते हैं, जीरो ट्रस्ट पॉलिसीज क्या होती है, छोटा छोटा हमें सिक्योरिटी में यहाँ पे अपने आपको एक्सप्लेन करना है. वो वल्नरेबिलिटी सीखनी है क्या क्या है हर तरीके से, चाहे वो फायरवॉल हो या फिर डिजिटल थ्रेट हो. तो कैसे प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, इसमें भी आप घर पे थोड़ी सी लैब बना सकते हैं. कॉन्फ़िगरेशन रीड अलर्ट्स कैसे होते हैं, और एक टूल सीख सकते हैं जैसे सिम विम. आप धीरे से स्टार्ट करो फायरवॉल से और ग्रो करो अदर पार्ट ऑफ दी साइबर सॉक को भी थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लोर करो. यहाँ पे नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी से स्टार्ट करना है जो कि फायरवॉल्स वाला पार्ट है. अब जब इसमें ग्रो करोगे और आगे थोड़ा साइबर थ्रेट्स को भी मैनेज करने लगोगे, देन जंप इनटू द क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी. बहुत अमेजिंग चीजें मिलेगी. आईएम है, जीरो ट्रस्ट है, कंटेनर्स है. कंपनी को बहुत डेडली रिक्वायरमेंट है. एडब्ल्यूएस, एज़्योर, जीसीपी, सबकी सिक्योरिटी की जरूरत है. ये कुछ रेगुलेटर्स होते हैं जैसे आईएसओ 27001. ये आपको अगर आता होगा तो इट्स एन एड ऑन. अब इसके लिए कैसे प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं, क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी सर्टिफिकेशन यहाँ पे आपको बेटर कर सकता है. एज़्योर के कुछ सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं, यू कैन डू. आप, मैं यहाँ पे आपको कह सकता हूँ कि आप उसको सर्टिफिकेट को निकाल सकते हो. एक आधा सर्टिफिकेशन यहाँ पे मैटर करता है, आप इसको लेके आप उसको एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो. गुड टू गो ऑप्शन है. तो यहां से हम सीधा किसमें जंप करेंगे, क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी में. अब बात करते हैं मार्केट की, मार्केट लेवल की बात करते हैं. जैसे मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया आपको कि टारगेट लेके चलना है कि हमें पहले नेटवर्क इंजीनियर बनना है, उसके बाद नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी, क्लाउड, अल्टीमेट गोल बनाना है नेटवर्क क्लाउड आर्किटेक्ट. मतलब इतना तो आप मान के चलो कि मैं अगर इस डोमेन में आ रहा हूं, विद इन अ डेकेड मुझे इस लेवल पे पहुंचना है. इज इट डिफिकल्ट? नहीं, आप समझ रहे हो, विद इन 5 ईयर यू कैन ग्रैब इट. अब मैं आपको मार्केट शो करना चाहता हूं, दैट इज द रियलिटी ऑफ द मार्केट. और सोर्सेज क्या है, यू कैन गो थ्रू द सोर्सेज. इट ISC2 खुद का वर्कफोर्स स्टडी करिए 2026. देयर इज द रिक्वायरमेंट. आप क्या देख रहे हो मार्केट में, ब्लॉकचेन, डेटा इंजीनियरिंग, डेवऑप्स, AI/ML. बहुत जॉब्स हैं AI/ML में, 1 मिलियन, बहुत रिक्वायरमेंट है. कैन यू सी द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द साइबर सिक्योरिटी? 4 टाइम्स हायर, 5 टाइम्स अप्रोक्सीमेटली हायर. डू यू नो द रीजन व्हाई रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ साइबर सिक्योरिटी जंप? आपको पता है क्यों जंप, इतना क्यों हाइप है, क्यों इतनी रिक्वायरमेंट है मार्केट? वन ऑफ द रीजन इज द AI. डू यू नो वी आर बिल्डिंग द कंप्लायंसेस थ्रू व्हिच, अगर आप नहीं तो अदरवाइज यू कैन आस्क AI हाउ टू बिल्ड अ बॉम्ब. आप एक उसको प्रॉम्प्ट दोगे और वो तो आपको बॉम्ब बनाना सिखा देगी. हाउ टू blast, make a basic blast by using the home products. You can do lot of things. You need the security even on these products. Cyber security का एक पार्ट है cloud security. उसको इतना पुश मिल रहा है because of the AI. AI ने बहुत चीजें बदल दी हैं. आज cloud secure करना इतना इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है क्योंकि AI की वजह से अटैक्स बढ़ गए हैं. पता है ना आपको? और सबसे पहले अटैक आपके क्लाउड प्रोडक्ट्स पे आता है. तो हमारी डिमांड बढ़ती जा रही है क्लाउड को सिक्योर करने की. मैंने क्या कहा आपको, इवन बैंक्स आर गोइंग टू द क्लाउड एंड यू ऑलरेडी अवेयर हाउ डेटा इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द बैंक से ज्यादा तो किसी के लिए डेटा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं हो सकता। वो बंदे अगर अपना क्लाउड पे डेटा लेके जा रहे हैं तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ द। अगर आज मैं बैंक को कह रहा हूँ कि मेरे क्लाउड पे डेटाबेस ले आओ ना, तो मेरे से पूछेगा अपना सिक्योरिटी स्ट्रक्चर समझाओ मुझे। अब मैं आपको क्या बताना चाह रहा हूँ, डे टू डे हमें क्या करना है। डे टू डे अभी हमें सबसे पहले हमने समझना है कि अपना सिक्योर नेटवर्क्स कैसे क्रिएट करना है। आर्किटेक्ट हाउ डेटा फ्लोज। अभी किसी ने मेरे से क्वेश्चन पूछा ना, कैन आई डायरेक्टली जंप इनटू द साइबर, कैन आई डायरेक्टली जंप इनटू द ब्ला ब्ला थिंग्स? नहीं। व्हाई वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, सबसे पहले देखो हमें नेटवर्क सिक्योर करना सीखना है, सो इट वुड बी फास्ट एंड प्रोटेक्टेड। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है। मैं कभी भी किसी भी कॉलेज में जाता हूँ, मैं सबसे पहले डेफिनेशन पूछता हूँ, डू यू नो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ एन इंजीनियर? हु इज एन इंजीनियर? इफ देयर इज अ पर्सन हु कैन गिव मैक्सिमम आउटपुट फॉर एनीथिंग, इट्स सॉफ्टवेयर और व्हाटएवर इट इज, बाय यूजिंग द मिनिमम रिसोर्सेज। इंजीनियरिंग काम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। कोई भी सॉल्यूशन दे रहा है, ठीक है, आपके पास बहुत सारी डेली प्रॉब्लम आती है, आपकी कार डैमेज हो गई, आपका कोई लैपटॉप खराब हो गया, तो एनीवन कैन इजीली यार इसको ये रिप्लेस कर दो, वो कर दो, दैट इज। लेकिन इंजीनियर वो होगा जो आपका मदरबोर्ड खोलेगा और वो उस पॉइंट्स को चेक करेगा और उसको रिप्लेस करेगा या उसको रिपेयर करेगा, दैट इज एन इंजीनियर। पूरा मदरबोर्ड चेंज करने वाला कोई भी सॉल्यूशन दे सकता है। आपका लैपटॉप खराब है तो इसको चेक, स्क्रीन में प्रॉब्लम है, मदरबोर्ड में प्रॉब्लम है, रैम में प्रॉब्लम है, उसको हम इंजीनियर नहीं बुलाएंगे। इंजीनियर इज द वन हु ओपन इट अप, तो वो क्या मैक्सिमम आउटपुट देगा आपको, उससे बेटर क्रिएट करके देगा, एंड बाय यूजिंग द मिनिमम रिसोर्सेज। दिस पीपल आर कॉल्ड एन इंजीनियर। मैंने क्या कहा, हमें सिक्योरिटी इंजीनियर की मैं क्या बताना चाह रहा हूं कि वो सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करें। और सिक्योरिटी जब हम किसी चीज में लगाते हैं, स्लो डाउन द प्रोसेस। वी गो टू द मूवी हॉल, वी गो टू द टेंपल्स, वी गो टू द मेनी प्लेसेस। इतनी सिक्योरिटी होती है जिससे हमारा सिक्योरिटी चेक पोस्ट पे इतना टाइम लगता है। हैव यू नोटिस, आप एयरपोर्ट पे ट्रैवल करते हो तो पहले आपकी मेन बिल्कुल एंट्री पे सिक्योरिटी है, फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट लेवल पे सिक्योरिटी है, आपके स्टफ चेक होते हैं, फिर उसके बाद एयर बिल्कुल अंदर जाने के बाद सिक्योरिटी है। देयर सो मेनी सिक्योरिटीज। इवन दो मैं आपको कंपेयर कर दूं, मैंने इंडिया से बाहर ट्रैवल किया है, तो मेन एग्जिट एंट्री पे सिक्योरिटी नहीं होती है। आपको सीधा बस एक बार अपना लगेज यानी अपना हैंड बैग चेक कराना होता है। आपकी नियर बाय कंट्रीज में भी ऐसा है, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा दूर नहीं, सिंगापुर या फिर दुबई या ऐसी बहुत सारी जगह है दैट यू कैन इजीली वॉक इन विदाउट एनी चेकिंग। इंडिया में जैसे बहुत चेकिंग होती है ना, इंडिया में आपने देखा एयरपोर्ट्स के बिल्कुल मेन एग्जिट पे एंट्री पे देयर इज अ सीआरपीएफ या जीआईएसएफ, जो भी खड़े होते हैं वो पहले चेक करते हैं, तो आपको एयरपोर्ट के अंदर आने देते हैं। व्हेन द थिंग्स वर्क्स ऑन द कंप्लायंस, जब बाहर की कुछ डेवलप नेशंस कंप्लायंस बना लेते हैं तो दे रिड्यूस दी, क्योंकि वो इंजीनियरिंग, हमारे थोड़ा इंजीनियर काम नहीं है। उन्होंने देखा एक प्रॉब्लम है, कोई भी बंदा घुस सकता है, कुछ भी कर सकता है, तो इंजीनियर नहीं किया गया, बस सोल्यूशन ढूंढ लिया गया। यहाँ भी चेकिंग लगा दो, यहाँ भी चेकिंग लगा दो, यहाँ भी चेकिंग लगा दो, लेकिन उससे वो प्रोसेस स्लो हो गई है। आपको एयरपोर्ट आपसे इंटरनेशनल फ्लाई करना है, यू हैव टू बी देयर बाय 3 आवर्स बिफोर, इतनी सारी चेकिंग्स है। लेकिन सेम चीज मैं जब इंडिया के बाहर से करता हूँ तो आई कैन डू इट इन 1 आवर मिनिमम। आप अगर कोई ब्लॉग्स देखते हो, कोई इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल जो करते हैं, ब्लॉग्स बनाते हैं, आप उनके ब्लॉग्स देखना, वो बताएंगे, शायद कहीं ना कहीं कवर करेंगे। आप इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवल करते हो, जब उनकी कंट्री से आप फ्लाई करते हो तो थिंग्स आर वेरी फास्ट। ये इंजीनियरिंग वर्क होता है कि चीजें हमें फास्ट करनी है, ठीक है। ये माइंडसेट जो मैंने क्रिएट करने के लिए कहा है, पहला डिजाइन सिक्योर नेटवर्क, उसके बाद सेकंड लेवल पे क्या होगा, रिस्पॉन्ड टू इंसिडेंट, स्पॉट, कंटेन, शट डाउन द अटैक्स बिफोर दे स्प्रेड। ये आपका मेन रिस्पॉन्स रहना चाहिए, आपको यही काम करना है। तीसरी चीज फिर मैंने आपको बताया कहां पे आना है, जब आपके पास ये दोनों एक्सपीरियंस हो जाएंगे। अगेन आई एम गिविंग यू द एग्जांपल ऑफ द सिंपल क्वेश्चन, व्हाई आई एम नॉट एंटरिंग डायरेक्ट इनटू द क्लाउड। पहले आप समझो कि सिक्योरिटी कैसे दी जाती है, रिस्पॉन्ड करना समझो सारे अटैक्स को कैसे, हाउ टू मैनेज, उसको स्प्रेड करने से कैसे बचाते हैं, देन डिफेंड योर क्लाउड, लॉक डाउन क्लाउड एनवायरनमेंट, आइडेंटिटी, एक्सेस, ट्रैफिक, थ्रेड्स, सारी चीजें, बिल्ड फॉर स्केल। आप आर्किटेक्ट लेवल पे आओ, आर्किटेक्ट, बिल्ड, मेक सिस्टम दैट ग्रोज फ्रॉम वन ऑफिस टू द ग्लोबल। पीपल स्टार्ट कंसल्टिंग यू, एक बेसिक सी कंसल्टिंग। आज मेरा पॉडकास्ट है किसी से शाम को इवनिंग में, यू वोंट बिलीव, वो एक 1 आवर की कंसल्टिंग की ही चार्ज 2 लाख रुपीज। वो बताता है कि आप कैसे अपने सिस्टम का एक ग्लोबल नेटवर्क क्रिएट कर सकते हो। हु इज ही? सीसो, ही इज अ सीआईओ बंदा है। कैन यू इमेजिन दिस मच? एक बार नॉलेज हो जाए तो आप कितना ग्रो कर सकते हो। ही इज इनटू द सेम एज ग्रुप जिसमें मैं हूं। सीरियसली, मतलब बहुत पावर है अगर आप सही तरीके से समझ के चल रहे हो। ये बिल्ड फॉर स्केल है ना, आई मेट सो मेनी पीपल इवन इन दुबई ऑल्सो, जो लोग जॉब नहीं कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ उन्होंने एक्सपीरियंस इतना ले लिया है, दे अंडरस्टैंड द फ्लो की मार्केट को क्या चाहिए। नाउ दे आर प्लेइंग द कंसल्टेंसी, और वो कंसल्ट करते हैं और अच्छा चार्ज करते हैं। वो वर्कशॉप्स में जाते हैं, उनसे चार्ज करते हैं, दिस इज एंड ऑल। और आज भी मैं आपके लिए एक ऐसा गेस्ट लेके आया हूँ। आज मैं आपको एक ऐसे बंदे से मिलाने वाला हूँ, 25 ईयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस है।
Now we are moving towards a very, very important part. Now we have someone from the industry who is an expert, who is already working in the company like Wipro. So now the webinar and this workshop will be taken over by Krishna Kishore, who is currently working as a journal manager in Wipro. So Maybe, and according to the records that Krishna has, he has also started from somewhere as you guys are currently. Maybe the correct career path he was not having, and now you see Krishna working in Wipro and holding a 25-year plus experience in the same domain. So, Krishna will be soon with us, sitting with us, sharing his current experience and whatever he has started with and what was his journey now, what is the market scenario, and how you guys can start in that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anjali.
So I just
Looking
also
forward.
want to say hi, Krishna. Thank you
Hello,
for
hi,
joining
Nitin.
us.
Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you for this, on a short invitation you joined. You're giving us the time. Guys, we are expecting that you will take the best from the Krishna today. So, Krishna, what we are going to cover, just a quick intro.
So I will probably a couple of areas. One, I will tell my story, connecting back to what Anjali was mentioning as how I did, like many of you, many of the audience, the participants here, how they started. I also started similarly. So I will cover my story a bit.
Perfectly
Then
fine.
I will explain how networking is today and how it is probably changing, why it is so important, why it is so exciting. And then three, I will see if I can cover something on what I learned basically and how I built my career. And hopefully those aspects also probably helpful to others as well. So
Correct.
these are the three areas in general and how
Perfectly fine.
the networking job world is.
I'm expecting the same thing. I think they will understand the real scenarios, how
Yeah.
the world works in reality. They got good motivation from you that if you can do that, so they can definitely do it. And that is the main reason inviting the Krishna here. And I hope you will get something from that.
Thank
Okay.
you very much, and it's my pleasure, Nitin. Thank you for inviting me. So, like I said, like I was mentioning to Nitin, I will try explaining on how I prepared myself and then how I went through my career between different roles, different paths, and all that. If I can do, I'm hoping that every one of you can definitely do it because I am not a stalwart or I am not a a top scorer in my school or college or anything like that. I started with my polytechnic course only. Of course, I did my graduation. I did my post graduation later, but when I went into my job, started my career in networking or general IT at that point in time with polytechnic course only. So if an ordinary guy like me can do, all of you can definitely do it. Let's get on to this thing, right? So how I started like a network admin at the beginning, at the very entry level kind of job where at that moment there was no distinction specifically between the divisions that we have today. Like you have security, network security, end user computing, data centers, servers, storage. We didn't have so many of distinctions at that time. Probably there are servers and computing on one side and networking on the other, but we were all doing all the support. But I would definitely like to highlight that part because that gave me a good perspective of all the technologies, how different things work, how different technologies can come together to deliver one IT service. When somebody is accessing an application, what are the things behind that is enabling for that application to work or for someone to consume network services or something like that. So that gave a good perspective. One learning for me is that even if that domain doesn't belong to me, like for example, storage, I'm not a storage expert, I'm a network expert. But because I had that initial experience, I'm able to understand if somebody is explaining about storage and that needs to be set up, what kind of network configuration that I need to build in to support his environment or her environment. So that's how I started. Then I moved into ISP services because ISP was new, getting privatized from BSNL and VSNLs of the world at that point in time. So I joined Wipro. That is when my real career actually started. Real learning started in networking because in ISP it is just networking and networking and networking, nothing else. So from edge, that means from the end user machine who is dialing into the internet at the time. We still had dial-up modems and dial-up connectivity and all that. From that user to somebody, some hosting environment somewhere in Europe or North America or somewhere where the traffic was going all the way between the dial-up links, local links, submarine links, even satellite as well at the time because we still did not have so much of fiber that we have today. We still were relying on satellite connectivity only between continents and between countries. The entire gamut of networking was visible at that point. So that gave me a good understanding on how network scales from edge to the core and in between all layers. Then I moved into a different group in Wipro. There, Cisco is actually a customer to Wipro in multiple ways, obviously. Thankfully, luckily to me, fortunately for me, I joined an engineering team. So they had a platform called GSR, Gigabit Switch Routers was the platform. Cisco 12K was a series. So I was part of that development test and engineering kind of team there. I did bit of coding, but I'm not a hardcore coder or anything like that. I knew a bit of coding, scripting, and little bit of automation at that point in time. So my job was to actually simulate how the GSR platforms or the networks are used or deployed in real-time scenarios in either large enterprises or service service providers, how this platform is deployed, I need to make sure that the features are the Cisco iOS, the platform itself, whether it is hardware or software or the functionalities, they all work properly. So that was my job there in Cisco client with Wipro. That gave me a different perspective as well. I learned the project management aspect from there. Although I was doing still technical work, I was actually working with a huge lab in Bangalore where we were setting up some 20 routers, because we need to simulate the entire customer environment. I was still doing that, but I was also leading a role like a set of small project engineers. So I was a project manager there. So I understood how project management means, what kind of metrics that we need to measure, how do we draw project plans, how do we track the work, how do we assign the work. So that kind of gave me a different perspective. So that's how if you notice, from the end user admin that I was doing when I started in Carvi to an ISP engineer where I was front-ending and interacting with the external customers. Then I am doing project management here. These are all adding little value to my core knowledge, which is networking. So I was able to understand what customer wants, how the internal stakeholders, the project teams, how they work actually, what kind of coordination that I need to do with them, what kind of systems and science that is there involved in project management function itself. So these kind of things added value. Then I moved to Accenture. So there I was actually, I joined their internal IT team. My job was to build the something called a next generation WAN. So NG WAN is the backbone for the entire Accenture across the globe, basically. So wherever the Accenture's offices are there, their development centers, marketing and sales kind of offices are there, they're all hooked on to this core network called next generation WAN. Basically, the uniqueness of this WAN is that it is more like an internal service provider itself, like Airtel, like Vodafone, like AT&T, BT. So it's like, although we draw the services from these service providers, but we internally were running a service itself. So for example, if Accenture wants to deliver some services to a customer, they have to set up an ODC, offshore delivery center, say in Calcutta. Then they will come to us like a customer and say that I want, this ODC, these many users will be there. This is the kind of applications that they access. This is how their internet connectivity has to be. These are the security policies that they need to implement. Then they will get hooked onto this next generation WAN with those policies, with that level of access, with the kind of priority that they need for different applications, VPN connectivity or access to the data centers, access to the cloud environment. So whatever it is. So that is what we were trying to build there. Then I moved to IBM. IBM actually, I joined as an architect. So that is also a good turning point for me because until now probably I'm doing more of an operations and some kind of testing or engineering simulation, enterprise customer interaction, those kind of things. But in IBM, my specific role was to be an architect. So there I understood the science of architecture. How does it differ from design and architecture? What kind of thought process one should have to become an architect? So I did my certifications as well. I did my TOGAF before I joined IBM. Of course, I didn't have any experience as an architect before I joined really. So I did the certification TOGAF, but IBM would not recognize TOGAF by itself. We have to do internal certifications of IBM as well. So there is a method and a process that internally IBM has, which is called architecture thinking. So I did those certifications as well. And the good thing about IBM certification is that they will not certify you until you show the practical experience, until you demonstrate. That means you need to build a network solution, deploy that network solution in that predefined methods and the framework that IBM's architect thinking program offers. It's not just bookish knowledge like, okay, I studied some papers, I went through some brain dump and then cleared the exam, multiple choice, click karo ho gaya. No, it's not that. I really have to demonstrate that I have actually deployed a project. That is when they will actually certify that, okay. So that is the advantage there. And then, so that gave a different perspective on what should one think like. They have to think like an architect. So what is the difference between a normal engineer, an SME, a technical expert, and an architect? So what is it when people say that architect will have a vision? What does that really mean? What kind of vision? How do we align our network solutions into the business environment? How do we understand business requirements and translate them into network specifications? So if they want a multi-site network to be connected, they have business cycles. Like for example, there are seasons. Like for example, a retail customer will have a holiday season end of the year. So the network has to support that extremely high volume of load. Just Amazon will run this Independence Day sale or Republic Day sale and all that, right? So similar to that. So how do you, if Flipkart or Amazon are running such kind of sales campaigns, high volume network, high intensity of access, too many transactions are happening, millions of billions of transactions happening, how does your network support it? So business will not say all this actually. It will say, I have a business cycle, I have certain seasons where my business is high, hence the network requirement is high. Now it is up to you on how do you size the network, what kind of device that will you put in, what kind of capacity, what kind of performance specifications that you ask for when you choose appropriate OEM, how do you build the availability factor, how do you build the reliability factor, how do you build the DR, BCP kind of scenarios inside the network environment itself. So that is how we analyze and we align with the business requirements, right? So that thought process actually I could understand more when I worked with IBM. Then that is when I moved back to Wipro 4 years ago. So I joined Wipro 4 years ago. Here I lead a team called Transformation Services. The major deliverable for us is when customer needs to transform their network, which is they have a traditional network, they want to modernize it. That means they want to remove end of life equipment and then move to a different technology, latest technology kind of thing. Or now they want to move to a cloud-based environment. So how do they integrate the legacy network or the on-prem network kind of thing, which is like enterprise head office, factories, R&D centers and all that. And then if they want to connect to the cloud environment, how do they do that? So that kind of transformation basically. Or sometimes what happens is it's just a reorienting kind of thing. Like for example, large global customer, they're already being served by some other service provider, maybe a competition company, Infosys, TCS, or whoever it is. Now they are actually coming to Wipro. They want us to take the complete ownership of the network. So deliver network as a service. So they don't care how you build the network, what kind of service provider that you will put in, what kind of tools you will put in. All that they want is outcome. So the network has to be 99.99% available in this area, in data center, 99% available in a remote branch. The network should have this kind of segmentation between different set of users. The network should be able to support scale in my data center environment, because I want to move back the data centers into a different data center. I don't want to use cloud. I want to build my own data center now. Network should be able to support without changing any fundamental equipment or fundamental technology. So those kind of aspects basically. So that is what I do. The two core functions that we do is, one is network engineering, another is project management, because both are critical for us as a function in terms of network transformation services. So the summary of the journey, if you see, is that there are three aspects actually, or 3 or 4 aspects that I would like to highlight. One is that it looks like a little organic growth only. That means I did not jump the gun. I did not say that, okay, I want to become an expert tomorrow and then I want to start building data center in my year 1 or year 2. So I started as a end user support kind of guy. I understood what exactly means, what exactly is consumed, and how the end user PC or a laptop or a device gets hooked onto the network, an access switch. How does that LAN cabling work? How does that racking stacking happens inside the a switch room or a hub room? Then gradually I added skills, whether it is core networking skills or core routing skills, or maybe a latest software defined or whatever we call, right, or security skills or whatever. I gradually built those skills. That is the first point. So at least my fundamentals are strong. Even if I go back, even after 25 years, I can still discuss on a packet structure or a frame structure. If somebody asks me what does Ethernet frame look like, maybe I can explain it. It's not, it's not like a blind thing for me. I can still understand if somebody is saying even advanced technology like VXLAN. So where does the VXLAN, tag sit in the entire frame? So if I'm troubleshooting, if I'm doing a packet dump and understanding, I can still read it because my fundamentals are still strong. So that is the first aspect. The second aspect is that I tried to learn as the technology grew. Obviously, whatever we see today, NSX was not there before, virtualization was not there before, cloud was not there before. Even today, AI was not there before 3 years ago. So, but still I'm learning. I'm still trying to do certifications, or I'm still trying to do practical stuff. I'm putting my own effort. Even if the job doesn't offer, I'm preparing myself to be ready. So when AI thing comes in, I can start working on it immediately because I have done some basic, background work. I did some learning offline. So I understand what it happens when I have to integrate AI based agents into my network management or network monitoring platform. So that is the second thing. So I continued my learning journey, and then I tried to adapt as and when technologies changed from one direction to the other direction. And third thing is that it looks like why network engineering is doing project management. So I did not desist from picking up that role, because I know maybe my title is project manager, but I'm still doing technical work. So that is giving me an additional skill, which probably is not directly dependent on the network, but it is helping me when I grow up. So today, as a leader for network transformation services, I do have project managers in my team. They are building project plans on how to transform the network, how to migrate network from point A to point B. So if they're preparing a project plan with the project management knowledge that I gained earlier, I can challenge them saying that, why are you putting this much time here? Why are you doing this in sequence? Why can't you do this task before? I'm able to challenge, and I can actually say that, can you provide a Gantt chart for your project and whatever? I can speak their language. So I'm not saying that you should pick up and do any and every job that way. You should obviously have some linkage on how that is related to your core skill, which is networking. So that is required. So that is the third aspect I would say that helped me grow, continue in the path and survive until now. So that's what about my story. Now, if I have to go back on how network is changing the today, why networking is important today, and how it is exciting, how it is still relevant for even in the era of virtualization, even in the era of mobility, even in the era of AI, because network is still the core. Network is still the brain. Nothing works without networking. I can give you some very vague and outlandish kind of examples. How many of you might be driving this Aether kind of connected scooters and all that, right? Or maybe these days whatever MG or these kind of cars that are coming in, they say internet inside. Your car will report back to the garage or service center when there is a problem. How is it happening? Of course, it is still probably a mobile connectivity, but end of the day, it is still some IP protocol running on top of all this. So there is a network component running on the scooter or on the car or a Aether scooter or whatever, or Ola scooter or whatever, that is reporting back some stats back to the service center or Ola service center or Aether service center. So some network is still running there. You talk about telemedicine, you talk about tele-education or whatever. People are doing surgeries remotely with robotic arms and all that. How is this happening? And these days, how are you consuming the entertainment? We don't have the cables running into our houses. Hardly, we still have some dishes and all that, but otherwise people are saying OTT. How is that over the air, over the thing, entertainment happening actually? How is the network is connecting, enabling the entertainment going at 4K, 5K, multiple angles of your cameras when you are watching an IPL match? How is this happening actually? It is all network behind the scenes. So somebody is designing the network at the data center. Somebody is designing the network in the stadium. Somebody is building the network in the ground level when the stream happens from a broadcasting station into a home, and there are multiple points to it. There are aggregation, there are caching devices. So many are there. All this is still networking. So there is definitely no end to networking. Networking will not disappear, and it is becoming much more relevant today because the reliance of people on the network is much more higher. So when we go, let's say, from 5G to 6G, they are saying speeds will multiple, latency rate will halve, or maybe it becomes 1/3 of what it is today. So at that speed, at that kind of consumption, people want real-time AI response. So all that, how is it happening? Not without network. So network is still relevant, whether you call about factories of the world or the IoT devices that we are talking about, right? That Aether and all that funda, or the how digitalization is happening across different industries, whether it is agriculture field or maybe a factory or an enterprise or some attendance system running on a remote branch, some surveillance system running on a secure farm or whatever. So all this is still networking. Networking is still relevant. It is just that we just have to open up our eyes and see what is behind this, what is behind it, what is running this service, what is enabling this service. That is when we realize and we get so excited and motivated that it is because of me as a network engineer all this is possible. So it is definitely exciting. It is worth building our careers in network. There is definitely no end to it. One difference I keep saying is that unlike software development or those programming kind of things where programs keep changing, you have different platforms, what is it, software stack, front end, back end, all that funda, networking doesn't have so much of confusion. Fundamentals are still valid. Whatever I have learned about TCP, IP, OSPF, BGP few years ago, few decades ago, yes, there are advancements, but those fundamentals are still valid. Even those advancements are so built on the same foundation, on the same fundamental concepts that we had before. IPv6, of course, it's still not there. But if you understand IPv4 very well, it is no-brainer that you can pick up skills on IPv6 tomorrow. Definitely there are new concepts, but the old is not going away. It is not disappearing. So that is one good thing about building careers in networking. So how do we build it? So like I was giving my own example, we start at the edge and then how the network gets built. Imagine somebody trying to digitize their operations and then say that I want to connect everything together. Whether it is somebody like what is the in thing these days, right? Farm to plate. So whatever is a farmer is actually growing up in the farm, and then we are able to track all the way till the hotel when the dish is made and all that fun, right? So how does it happen actually? So I need to first think, how does that product, when it is growing, it is growing in an appropriate manner, whether it is organic or something, it is growing in a very healthy manner. The point I'm trying to drive is that you start at the edge. A large enterprise also, I need to see how the edge is connected. So I will look at what kind of technologies that are required. How do I build a access network there? How do I put a user end switch there, wiring closet switch? And then how do I build and gradually aggregate that into a distribution layer or whatever, and then bring that into a data center. And then when I bring it to a data center, whether it is a data center of my own or a cloud environment, that is how I build my skills. So the skills and the network layers actually are very relevant, if you ask me, really, because at an engineer level, I know some fundamentals of all the concepts. I might not know advanced concepts. I might not have enough experience to troubleshoot very complex scenarios and complex problems. So the knowledge that I gain at the beginning as an entry engineer will help me administrate or troubleshoot or support an edge network. So gradually, as I build my skills, I go to core, because core has much more dependency. The criticality is high, the complexity is high. In the core, I will have firewalls, I will have some proxy servers or whatever. I have different connectivity to internet, to the internal corporate WAN, to cloud environment, or maybe to some other application, whatever, or maybe to a peer company. We don't know. The complexity increases. So as I gain more knowledge on it, now it is not OSPF on fundamental configuration of OSPF. Some areas here and there. Okay, I have area 0. Routes are being learned. It's not that. When I go to core, I have to customize it. I have to engineer the protocol behavior. So unless I gain my experience at the edge distribution level, I will not know what kind of customization that I need to do at the core. So it's a gradual journey from access to distribution to core, and then you actually play around with all whatever components that are there in networking today. But yeah, the compensation point of view, which is of course an attractive factor. I mean, all of us, satisfaction is there, job satisfaction. I'm changing the world runs because of me. All that funda is okay. But end of the day, we also still need money. So it is, as you see, as you gain your knowledge, you add value to your profile. What kind of additional skills that you are able to gain, not just, linear scale, but exponentially. The compensation also is actually growing exponentially. It's not just like, okay, I have 2 years experience, so next year I'll get 10% increment, 15% increment. No, it's not 10% increment. You add more skills, you become more valuable. People know how much, business that you can bring in, how much support that you can bring in. Based on that, you will be paid. Based on that, you will increase your value. Based on that, you will be in much more demand. You will be hot cake in the market. So it is all the value that you need to see how I am adding from year 1 to year 2, year 5, 10, 15 years. So after 15 years, how much value did I add? Is it just an incremental experience? Incremental experience means like earlier I used to manage 1 customer, now I am able to manage 5 customers. Technology is same. No, that is not the increment. Earlier I knew about edge networking, enterprise routing protocols, but I know core routing. I know data center, different technologies. I know VMware wala technology also. I know Red Hat wala technology also. I know Cisco. I know Palo Alto. I know Juniper, HP, and probably I know some other software defined, whatever it is, right? Whatever is coming up tomorrow. So I'm able to add value. That value adding is important. You add value, your value also will grow exponentially, not just linearly. That is what the key thing that you need to remember. Good. Okay. So there is money out there. I'm attracted. I have a purpose to my job. I'm actually changing the world. So I have both, whatever spiritual or mental satisfaction is also there. And at the same time, I also have financial satisfaction. But how do I do that? How do I plan? This is how we should plan. So I would like to, it's a very busy slide. Probably I made it with a little purpose, but please pay attention to this really. Maybe like Anjali ma'am was saying when she gives the recording back to you, if you can actually take this picture and then pin it onto your desk or at home or whatever, because I'm sure this will be useful. This is quite generic. This is not technology specific or vendor specific or anything. This helped me in my past 25 years. This is exactly the path that I followed. I'm sure it will be valid for next 25 years also, because it is technology agnostic. It is science. It's not just some random ladder that people grow or whatever. It is science. So as a kid, as a small kid, as a toddler, how I learned things, how I learned speaking, writing, went to an elementary school, and then became a graduate out of an engineering college, a prominent engineering college probably. So the entire process, same process applies here as well. So how you build your skills in network engineer, what kind of objectives that people expect out of you when I employ you as a network engineer, when I take you as a network specialist, similar approach. Terms will change, technology will change probably, but approach is similar. So that is why it is important. Like for example, if you are in a mid-level network SME, you are probably 8 years into the networking environment. The expectation is that you have already gained a good understanding of concepts. You remember a lot of protocols, you remember a lot of configurations, you work with different vendors. Now you are able to apply. What does it mean by apply? That means if a customer comes to you saying that, no, I want some customization, I want these users are also working from a different building, they actually sit with a different team, so now two teams are merging. I need to create some kind of a different compartmentalization for them. It is not just VLAN separation, but maybe some security policies, access policies, all those things I need to apply differently. So that is where you are applying the experience. It may not be a straightforward configuration. You go to a UI, put a checkbox, done. No, it may not be that. You may have to customize the environment. You may have to think, how do I integrate? Especially transformation, when I do this transformation kind of thing, I get into this problem because transformation cannot be a switch. That means customer is running a legacy environment. Then I go that, okay, fine, one fine day, you please shut all your shops, close all your offices, come back after 2 days. I will give you with the new network. That will never happen, right? You have to do gradually. That means what? I still have old network running and in some parts of the organization, have new network running in other parts of the organization. How do they both interact? Customization is definitely required. That is where my application of knowledge is required. It's not straightforward configuration that, okay, legacy, static routing, I was doing static routing kind of thing, I'm connecting switches back to back. No, it may not be that. So you may have to aggregate differently, you may have to cascade the switch differently, you may have to, build switch groups or whatever in the new network, but that still has to talk to the old network. So that is where application comes in. That is what I mean by how you actually increment your way of approaching your career, how incrementally or exponentially you are adding more skills to it. At the same time, how you are changing your, your outlook. You are becoming a learned person to a visionary kind of thing. Like you see on this one, right? On the top right corner, you see, right? How the skill evaluation happens, how knowledge evaluation happens. So you have data, you have your manuals, you have configuration guides. How does that become into knowledge? How does that become to wisdom? And then you become a visionary. When you go to the top, you become a chief architect. You are a visionary. You are no more configuring, doing basic things. You are actually setting the roadmap. You are predicting that after 5 years, the world will be like this. Hence, you are telling the customer, you are telling the enterprise that you please transform yourself like this and be ready, because the world after 3 years is going to change. AI is going to change the network in this manner. So please prepare yourself like this. You build this monitoring management platform, or you change your network environment like this. Users will have different way of accessing it. Like example, it's no more, people are giving assets like laptops and mobiles and all that. Anybody can carry any laptop, any mobile into the office, and they are expected to work in the same secure manner the way they were working with dedicated laptops. So how that BYOD or any device, any user, anywhere access, how is it working today? How does that change with the mobility and all that happening? How do you change customers? You can't restrict the customer saying that you can work only on laptop. It has to be mobile as well. What kind of security and network connectivity that you will ensure that mobile also has the same kind of user experience, but with the same security, same compliance? How do you do that? So you will tell the customer that tomorrow AI is coming in, people will use AI kind of chatbots and all that on their mobile. They will still consume the applications, but in a different manner. And hence the network has to change like this. Your firewalls, proxies, data leakage prevention, compliance requirements, all this will change like your network segregation. How do you quarantine users that are not complying? All those things will change like this. Hence you please be prepared. How does that visionary things come in? Unless you process your information data into a good knowledge base and develop, a patterns kind of thing, and then make your wisdom, and then you become visionary. Same as like you start as a novice, like I did. When I joined, I did not know anything. I don't know what is a cable RJ11, RJ10. All these were going above my head. I didn't know anything about the cables or at all. Then how I learned them, and then how I build all those skills and added additional skills also, and then became an architect later. Same path here as well. I also gave some kind of indicative numbers. Earlier, we used to say, like, for example, I took 20 years to reach a network architect. But today, the expectation is that people can reach in 12 to 15 years, because you have a better way of learning things, better way of simulating things, better way of adding, your knowledge or whatever, building your knowledge or whatever, right? You have your personal labs, you have a PC, you can build your own virtual lab, you can learn, practice your thing. You don't have to depend on somebody else. Unlike what we used to do in our own days. We did not have a lab, so I have to depend on the job training only. If the job doesn't permit, then it used to take a lot of time for me to learn. No, it's not like that now. So you can use your AI chatbots or whatever, whether ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini or whatever, you learn on that very easily. It is going to package the information appropriately and teach you. And then you can simulate in your lab, you can install virtual labs on your machine. So whatever you are learning elsewhere, you can test that knowledge or refine that knowledge appropriately with your own means. Obviously, my intention is not to say that you depend on Copilot only and attend an interview. That is not going to help you, definitely. Gemini or Copilot or any AI tool or brain dump did not help me, to be honest. The same old brain dump, probably AI today. Brain dump will help you to some extent, but it is not the only way to build your career and build your knowledge, definitely. So you have to have formal learning as well. Formal certification is also required, but that is not the only thing. You need to have a combination of everything. You need to have formal learning, you need to have certification, you need to practice yourself experience, you need to go on the job, and then on the job also you need to learn with the customer environment, real ground level environment, production environment, and then build your overall skill. That's the idea here. Okay, so summarize all those learning paths, right? So I try to summarize this in two ways basically. 5-step process. First of all, you determine your career path. What is that you want to build on? Good, excellent. You chose network. So you build like any other generalist that I will start my career without any reservation that I will do only end user networking or data center networking or whatever. But as you keep growing, you need to adapt your path. I want to become a network engineer in cloud networking. I want to build my career in data center networking. I want to build my career in enterprise factory kind of networking. Like in the first slide we saw IoT, OT, smart factories, smart manufacturing. That also requires a different networking, right? So you can become specialist in there as well. So you adopt your career path appropriately. So this 5-step process is a closed cycle. So when you adopt your path appropriately, as you keep growing from year 1 to year 2 to year 5, then you identify skills that are required. So after 3 years, you learned about fundamental networkings, how basic protocols work, ISO, OSI stack or TCP/IP protocol stack or different protocols, different routing protocols, LAN protocols, WAN protocols. You learn something fundamentally. You have all those things. What does next? If I want to become an IoT OT specialist, what kind of networking? ZigBee protocol or Bluetooth enterprise, or what is that protocol that I need to learn there? So identify those skills. And then how do I learn that? Which training should I attend? Which self-learning that I need to do? Which mentor should I go to? Plan those milestones, execute them. And frequently you keep a SWOT analysis like strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So what technology is getting obsolete today? What technology should I? Example is like, for example, 3-4 years ago, when I started, a lot of technologies that were there, they are all not there. Like for example, 3Com switch we used to do. There is no 3Com switch right now. So whatever proprietary protocols that 3Com, Lucent, all those guys have brought in, they are not relevant right now. Recently, Juniper is acquired by HPE. Now Juniper also has an SD-WAN product. HPE also has an SD-WAN product. Obviously, they will not keep two different products on the same brand, same feature. So one of the products has to die. So how do I unlearn something and then learn something new? So if HPE is saying that no, it will be Silver Peak, not Juniper wala mist, wo nahi rahega, we will keep only Silver Peak, and that is what the product that we will sell. So whatever specific technology options or features that I need to learn about Silver Peak, I need to learn right now. I probably would have had a lot of experience on Juniper, but that is not going to be very relevant tomorrow. Fundamentals are there, but at midway career, right? So then I need to reorient myself and learn HPE more. That kind of SWOT analysis you keep doing. What is relevant, what is not relevant. Earlier, there is no concept of SRE, like for example, system reliability engineering. So that is become everywhere now. In network also, software development also, your DevOps and whatever infrastructure management everywhere, right? So the SRE concepts were not there before. Suddenly some new thing has come. So whenever I go for an interview, then they'll say, how much do you know about SRE? How do you build your network complying to an SRE requirement? Unless I know unless I have a view of what is happening on the horizon, what new technologies are coming, unless I do that opportunities, right? In SWOT, what opportunities are there? I can't prepare myself. I need to identify the skills, prepare myself, and then keep the loop on, right? So the second half is this, that what kind of skills I need to build. So typically I would like to categorize into two different skills. One is core and additional. Core are your technical skills, which is exactly what we are doing technical. SRE is not my core skill. SRE is more of a concept. So how do I convert my network, so that it is reliable? So what kind of SRE concepts that I should apply to my network domain? If I am actually working in a banking industry, highly regulated, too many concepts are there. RBI will have say something, GDPR, data privacy will say something else. How do I set up my network, whether it is monitoring, logging, or whatever, to ensure that my company, because I am working for a bank, how do I ensure that my network complies to all these RBI wala requirements as well as Europe GDPR, whatever banking requirements are there? So that I need to have that knowledge. I can't be blank saying that no, GDPR is not my domain. I'm a network engineer. I am not a data engineer. Okay, fine. You are not managing the entire data, but at least whatever is relevant to network, we need to understand. And the tools, of course. One important thing that I definitely would like to suggest is that Python. You learn Python, you will become an emperor in no time. Not even king, not even whatever, Maharaja or whatever. You will become emperor, I can say. Because Python is everything. It is running AI, it is running automation, it is running, whatever technologies that were already there before, like dashboards and all that we were doing, right? Zero touch provisioning and all that we were doing. The brain behind all that was most of the places at least is Python. So learn Python very well, and then you will never lose your relevance. You will continue to become relevant throughout your career. Python is very important thing. AI, of course, knowledge of AI is required. Probably, I think I saw, one question that Anjali was asking, will AI replace jobs or grow? It will definitely grow. AI is both ways actually. AI is helping networking. Networking is required for AI. If tomorrow India is setting up some AI data center in Vizag or Gujarat or wherever, in Andhra or Gujarat or wherever, AIDC requires a different set of networking, different type of protocols. So So it is a different thing for AI as well. So if any enterprise, obviously the hype is there, every enterprise wants to get onto the AI bandwagon. So from networking point of what do I need to do? From consumption to the core again. So if I'm setting up AI data center, how that is being consumed by the end users, what kind of protocols are required, what kind of technologies are required, what kind of hardware is required, how the bus is changing, network bus is changing. So those concepts I need to know. So AI related tools also is important, but at the same time, additional skills also required, like your ITIL. ITIL is like basically how infrastructure is managed, your change management process, incident management process, or request management, whatever, right? CISA is more information security auditing. Like I said, compliance requirements, because all of us work in regulated environments only, whether you call it retail or you call banking or pharma or healthcare. Unfortunately, every industry has this one. Even in India, DPDP, you would have heard, right? The data privacy protocols data privacy rules that India has brought out. So that touches every domain actually, every industry. So networking is also relevant. We need to be aware of what is going on there. So similarly, presentation soft skills, communication is extremely important. As you keep growing the ladder from bottom to the top, at the top, all that you will do if you are an evangelist is speak. So how you package a complex network topic in a very simple terms that even a CEO, CTO can understand. Not CTO, CEO and CFO who are expected not to be technical. CFO सिर्फ पैसा का बात है, he will talk about money only. But how do you explain? How do you convince him that your solution is valid and then he should pay you money? How you build your communication skills at the network engineer level? When you are writing an RCA or probably an incident report mail or something, you need to write appropriately. Again, this is also very easy these days. Use your Copilot or Gemini or whatever grammar. Lot of grammar tools are there. They help you write nice emails, present it in an appropriate manner, articulate the problem very well. So, but it is also important that you put a diagram very well. You are able to draw the diagrams, network diagrams very well. You are able to build the root cause analysis properly. You are able to build the flow of narration in terms of change management. That means how do I execute the change? How do I defend the change? Because the enterprise will not agree to change if it is not very well planned. You need to go and convince them, saying that no, your business will not get disrupted. I'm actually taking all the care. I have rollback plan. I have a test plan everywhere, and this change is definitely required. If you're not able to convince, the business will say no, please, I don't agree to whatever this thing. Disturb my business. I will not allow you. You need to convince. So you need to have proper communication, proper articulation, written, verbal, everything, presentation, network diagrams. So all these areas, right? So what are the things that we see typically when we see some kind of not so good kind of things, right? So people who come up to interview saying that I have 10 certifications, but certification is not the only thing, brother. You need to have some knowledge, experience. You need to be able to articulate the knowledge that you have. You need to explain. How can you explain without having experience and hands-on? So you need to have some experience as well. So it's not just certificates. Certificates are also required because certificates help you in two different ways. One, it sets you boundaries, because certification, like for example, if you are saying I am AWS Cloud Network Administrator, that means that if you go to the AWS site and look for Cloud Network Administrator, it will tell you that these are the aspects that you will cover as part of Cloud Administrator. So those are the things you will read. So it will give you guidance of how do you want to prepare yourself if you have to manage US cloud environment from networking point of view. So that way it helps you give that guidance. Second is that organizations do require certification as one of the requirements. Like for example, if I have to say that I have 10 people who are skilled at SME level, some of them are skilled at architect level, I can't measure. So sometimes I use certification as one input for me, saying that okay, 10 people are certified at the administrator level and another 5 people are certified at the expert level. Hence I have 5 experts in cloud networking, 10 are SMEs or whatever. That way it is easy. Organizations do mandate that certification is required, but like I said, it's not the only thing. Hands-on experience is important. You should be able to troubleshoot. Troubleshooting is more of an art rather than a science. Of course it is science as well, but it is more of an art. So you need to build that intuition. So intuition, does it come by birth? Absolutely not. It comes by only experience and study. So you keep reading manuals, you keep reading like for example, there was a blue screen death problem, CrowdStrike कुछ Microsoft problem हुआ था. There was a problem, Facebook servers were not reachable for majority of the world users. What happened there? They said some DNS problem was there, some DNS poisoning happened, some route update did not happen. Read those material, read that material. What happened really there? Why do they say DNS problem? Why do they say BGP routing problem? What kind of automation that deployed and that did not work really? So read through that, practice, participate in discussions. That is how you develop your intuition. So when you get to a problem, and then somebody tells you a problem, immediately you know that probably it is like this. Simple example is that you go to a street side mechanic, you take your bike, the moment you start and he hears the sound, immediately tell you a problem, ये chain का problem है, like नहीं तो piston का problem है, spark plug ठीक से काम नहीं कर रहा है. How is he able to do that? Is it written anywhere? Is it something he gave a birth? No, it is all because of of the shadowing that he did with his boss and the experience he did on his own. Obviously, there is no written manual, so he did not read. We have manual, so we can speed up that language. So that is how he did it. All that is important. And then obviously no projects to show. So I mean, you need to have some experience as well. Like I said, even before you get onto a job, probably like you are transitioning, like somebody said, you are in third year of BTech. You want to build your career in networking. You are doing something else in IT. Now you want to switch your job into networking. So you identified your career path, right? And then you identified these are the trainings that I need to go through. This is the learning that I need to do. This is the certifications that I need to do. You did all that, right? You keep practicing. You build your labs, practicing GNS3. Most of you have heard of. I mean, ask Google. There are many ways you can build your own personal labs on your laptop. So build those labs, practice. So even when you hit the first interview with zero experience, you can still say, I have learned like this. I have learned this. I have practiced this as well. So I do have some experience on practical aspects as well. So show some projects. I know how retail companies work. So for retail industry, the networking has to be like this. You are able to give that case study appropriately. Never lose fundamentals. Like I said, the thing that is still helping me, deal with my team is still that fundamentals. I still go to a troubleshooting call and challenge saying, no, you please show me the, network packet dump and show me at the packet level. And I understand.
Correct.
Maybe I'm still not as expert as I was probably in my earlier days of my career, but I can still ask right questions. Tell me why this packet is like this, why it is not working like this. So in summary, the point is that certifications is not the only thing, but it is also required. Hands-on is most important, and you need to build troubleshooting skills. For that, you need to also have practical experience. So build your fundamentals, keep learning, keep practicing. Rest of the things will automatically follow. That is what I would think. And because any one of them are missing, that is where the problem is. So it's not just hiring problem, to be honest. It's not hiring problem. I see engineers in our team actually. I mean, not exactly in my team, probably in my team also. They don't grow as quickly as the others, right? So you would have seen here in the previous how somebody can become expert in 12 years. How is he growing? Maybe somebody is stuck at network specialist level only even after 10 years. What is the difference? The difference is here. Either he doesn't have exposure to the every environment that is possible. Either he did not build the skills that are required, whether the core skills are, that means that he knows networking, but doesn't know ITIL. So he's not able to go and present a change case. He's not able to write appropriate RCA. He doesn't have presentation skills, so I can't put him in front of the customer. He's not able to draw a diagram and explain back to the customer. He is not able to understand the industry specific thing. Like for example, if he goes to a factory, if he's building a wireless environment there in a factory, what kind of things that are required as a WLAN environment in a factory warehouse, kind of large spaces, he doesn't have knowledge. So he's not able to make appropriate recommendation to the customer. I mean, but does he not know wireless environment? He knows, but he's not able to apply that knowledge into manufacturing environment. He's not able to apply that knowledge into a factory environment. So that is why it is important that you actually build all those skills appropriately. So it's not just hiring problem, but it is also helping you to grow in your career fast. You need to add value. This is the value that you will add. So I think this is what we discussed about how certificates and hands-on projects and how they differ. Both are required. AI part, right? So it is possible that we have that apprehension that how AI is changing. So AI is definitely changing, but AI is also a helper. AI is also a threat. Like this, the way we were discussing earlier on how do we do SWOT analysis, we need to do the same SWOT analysis on AI. So AI knowledge is absolutely important. So what are the things that I need to know? One is how do I prompt? How do I take advantage of an AI system? So even as a personal account, you can still use Copilot or Gemini or Cloud or Anthropic Cloud or some other tool, right? You can still use. You see how the AI ecosystem is working really. What kind of components are there? When people are talking about models, model to model communication, agent to agent communication, agentic AI or generative AI, predictable versus probabilistic. What is the difference? You need to understand the environment because every vendor today of worth their salt, whether it is Cisco, HPE, Juniper, Palo Alto, whoever it is, all of them have AI components in their system. So either their monitoring management platforms or the devices themselves. Unless I know what components are there behind that AI, I will not be able to take advantage of those systems. So hence I need to understand the AI ecosystem. Like I said, Python is definitely useful to you. So if you are able to do some Python scripting, maybe that you create an agent and then integrate the agent back into the AI platform. Second thing is every service provider today, not just Wipro also have a platform called Wipro Intelligence, but every service provider, whether it is Wipro, TCS, Infosys, whatever, HCL, they all are building AI ecosystem. So the moment you join a job tomorrow in any of these places, they will say, how can you integrate your work into AI? So you need to have that thought process on what tasks are there to me today that AI can do and I can do something better. I can do something more efficient or that is not routine kind of thing, right? Where human is required. So you need to give those inputs. AI is still nascent. I mean, I can definitely say that AI cannot run the network completely, but AI is able to accelerate the network operation. AI is able to accelerate the transformation work, but it cannot do it on its own. It's not as intelligent as a human being. Humans are still required, but people will ask. So today, for example, my target is that I need to bring 30% productivity using AI. So if I'm building a project, if I'm building a transformation configuration for a system, how do I use AI and then bring in that 30% efficiency? So as an engineer, network engineer or a network SME, I need to know what that AI is. So that's what I would like to say. AI is helpful. Let's not worry about AI replacing me. It's not going to do that. It is going to add more skills and more people now. You need to know what prompting is, what models, how do models work, what agents are there, what they talk about agent to agent communication, agentic AI and all that. How does that work? And then you go to different vendor pages, like go to HPE, go to Cisco pages and say, what is Cisco doing in AI? What HPE is doing in AI? Learn that and then prepare yourselves. So that's all I have. Skills are important. It doesn't matter whether you are in India or abroad. In fact, abroad, I think, especially Middle East, I see a huge demand. I myself was, pinging some time back, Anjali ma'am, that I need these people urgently. So demand is there. Network demand is there everywhere. Understand your career objectives, build your path appropriately, make a plan, execute that plan well, and then you will be there in so very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Krishna. It was really amazing, and now they are already aware how the things works into the real time, the real understanding from someone having the more than 2 decades experience like Krishna. So Krishna has covered a lot of things here, and the most important part in the last, he said that whether you're looking for the job into the India or abroad, he told you like recently he shared some requirement with us in the abroad. I think with the Anjali you have shared. So thank you, Krishna, for your part, and all the very best.
Thank you, Nitin, Anjali, and all the best to everyone on the call.
So, guys, yes, as Krishna has explained, it's true. It's a true nature of every company. He was explaining so many cases, the real time cases that when I was sitting, he's sitting at that level now. He's reached out to that level. He has a lot of verticals inside him, and whenever anything happened, any change happened, he has to personally go and understand what is happening. So when he was explaining when they're hiring, so they're not just hiring on the basis what certification has told you or you have prepared as per the certification. Reality ऐसी नहीं होती. Reality में क्या होता है? So there are two types of profile: freshers or experience. If you're a fresher, then you have two options: on campus, off campus. You won't believe it. Anjali and me recently visited one of the college. Actually, I was the guest there, and Anjali was taking the interviews there. We are hiring few people for our team, and we have seen unbelievable response from the candidate. So they are in interview. They are not aware exactly the job description. They are not exactly done any R&D on the company जिसका interview देने आए. Guys, when you're going for the on campus या off campus you get from your company college. Off campus you have to apply online. Off campus show what you have done. Don't fake it. अगर नहीं आता है तो वो डालो उसमें उस तरीके से कि नहीं मेरे को जितना पता है ना तो उसके लिए keep practicing. आपने क्या क्या काम किया है, कौन से प्रोजेक्ट्स किए हैं. Do that projects actually में जो आपने internship की है. Show them that internship what you have done. I tell you clearly, अगर मैं hire कर रहा हूँ someone from the college, I need a good profile. I need a learning attitude. मुझे पता है उसको सब कुछ नहीं आता है, but I'm looking for the learning attitude. ये keep in the mind. Learning attitude, whatever you have shown, वो उसका आइडिया हो आपको. I'm going to ask. मैं पूछूंगा कॉलेज आपका कैसा रहा और पूछूंगा how much you're aware about my company. Definitely. If you're a serious candidate, आपको मेरे बारे में पता होगा. Second, move through the experience. कोई भी experience का interview start होता है, to start with the resume. First, every interview will check, are you going to fake anything or not? क्या वो जो लिखा is that genuine or not? We'll go and read alls and roles and responsibility and ask the question on that. उसके बाद we will go and check the basics. आपके basics कितने clear हैं? आपकी basic understanding कैसी है? एक बार basic पूछने के बाद then we will go to the real time questions. फिर हम real time questions पे आते हैं और real time questions के बाद फिर आपके further आपका communication, आपका attitude, ये सारी चीजें चेक होती है. ये बहुत सिंपल फ्लो है. अभी मैं ये सेशन अंजलि को हैंड ओवर कर रहा हूँ. शी इज द टेक्निकल हेड इन आवर कंपनी. और वंस अंजलि इज डन, अंजलि आई वांट, जो हमने इतना कुछ सुबह से बोला है, आई वांट यू टू इनवाइट फ्यू पीपल एंड प्रूव देम कि यस हमने वो रिजल्ट दिया है. हम क्या करते हैं कि इनको भी बता देते हैं, जो आप अभी पीपीटी पे इनको दिखाने वाले थे, कि हमने अलग अलग कंपनी जैसे HCL, कैपजेमिनी के अलग अलग क्वेश्चंस बना रखे हैं, तो वो सेट आप इनसे शेयर करने वाले हैं. तो एक क्विक इंट्रो दोगे क्या हो के क्या चीजें?
So over the years, as we have already told everyone on this workshop, that over the years we have been into the market from last 12 years, 12 plus years. So these many years we have spent, providing companies good number of candidates, that to skilled candidates, and that is how हमारे पास एक pool है जो company wise questions का pool है. For example, Wipro, HCL, Capgemini, they keep on hiring from us. Like अभी कृष्णा ने बताया, कृष्णा विप्रो से हैं, कृष्णा मुझे कभी कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट शेयर करते हैं. Then we, according to the requirement, we give the exact number and exact kind of questions that can be asked from Krishna's team. So ऐसे करके हमने बहुत एक कस्टमाइज लिस्ट बना रखी है क्वेश्चंस की. कंपनी वाइज डिपेंड करती है वो. कैपजेमिनी में किस प्रोसेस के लिए क्या क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं, बिकॉज हर कंपनी में अलग डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ प्रोसेसेस चल रहे हैं, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स चल रहे हैं. तो प्रोजेक्ट ए में क्या क्वेश्चन पूछना है, प्रोजेक्ट बी में क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा रहे हैं, तो ऐसे करके हमने एक्यूमुलेट करके लिस्ट बना रखी है.
So over to you, Anjali. Please go ahead.
Sure, sir, I'll take it over now, and I want these people to meet with Aman, who is our recent placed candidate. So, hi, Aman. So, Aman, how are you doing? कैसे हो आप?
मैम बढ़िया हूँ, बढ़िया।
ग्रेट. सो अमन, मेरे पास कुछ क्विक क्वेश्चंस हैं आपसे पूछने के लिए,
यस
ताकि
मैम।
हमारी ऑडियंस को राइट डायरेक्शन मिल सके और वो चूज कर सके करेक्ट एंड रॉन्ग ऑप्शन में, राइट? सो अमन, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा
थैंक यू
जो
मैम।
क्विक क्वेश्चन है आपसे अमन, वो ये है कि आपको क्या लगता है, इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर अ कैंडिडेट टू गेट प्लेस्ड लाइक यू, इज इट पॉसिबल टू गेट प्लेस्ड ऑन अ कमिटेड पैकेज that we say generally? आपको क्या
Yes,
लगता है,
ma'am.
पॉसिबल है?
Definitely. Yes, ma'am. Definitely, it is possible because the way you start to everyone, the way you give the technical training, and absolutely that's great. That's great, ma'am. And the process you are following is also great. And first, your process is when we involve the course you taught me in technical, then we will move to the real time training, then we will move to the placement training. So all the process is absolutely great, ma'am. And the support of the each and every process, it was also great. I will definitely recommend to everyone should join that NG network course.
Thank you so much, Aman. I would like to have Vikalp now on the camera and on the mic. Hi, Vikalp. Good to see.
हाय मैम, कैसे हो आप? I'm good.
मैं ठीक हूँ. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
विकल्प, आपने लास्ट वर्कशॉप में भी ज्वाइन करा था, एंड
Yes.
देयर वाज अ ट्रेमेंडस काइंड ऑफ फीडबैक दैट वी हैव केप्ट हेयरिंग अबाउट यू. आपने ऐसा क्या कह दिया तो हमें दोबारा भी आपको एज अ स्पीकर बुलाना पड़ रहा है, एज अ फीडबैक के लिए बुलाना पड़ रहा है?
मेरे साथ जो हुआ है, आई शेयर्ड माई जर्नी, मतलब कहाँ से शुरू हुआ था, हाउ इट स्टार्टेड। एक नॉन आईटी, मतलब आईटी बैकग्राउंड था, मैंने बीटेक किया था, आई डिड बीटेक, बट एक डायरेक्शन नहीं था, एंड विदाउट डायरेक्शन ना आप कहीं जा नहीं सकते हो। द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग, सो मतलब एकदम से बिल्कुल आई वाज वर्किंग इन कॉल सेंटर, वही फैमिली प्रेशर, ये सब चीजें, कुछ नहीं कमाता खाता नहीं, इस टाइप से थिंग। सो मतलब बिकॉज ऑफ दैट प्रेशर आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग इन कॉल सेंटर्स, बट समहाउ मतलब मेरे को एनजी के टच में मैं आया, थैंकफुल। और आज भी आपको तो पता ही है, रिसेंट मेरा एचसीएल प्लेसमेंट का।
रिप्लेसमेंट, यस.
हाँ, तो मतलब अभी माई जर्नी इज लाइक ऑलमोस्ट फॉर 5-6 years आई एम एसोसिएटेड विद यू गाइड्स, एंड मेंटरशिप नितिन सर की, मतलब ही गाइड्स की अप्रोप्रिएटली। अभी वी हैव थाउजेंड्स ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज, राइट? वायरलेस चल रहा है, साइबर सिक्योरिटी में मल्टीपल डोमेन्स
Sir,
है, मतलब।
I'm so one question that the agenda of this workshop, or I would say whatever the content that we have covered in this workshop was this, that people should start with network basic fundamental, then they should move on network security, and then after, like ultimately, then they can go on the cloud. So what do you think? How much sense does it make to you?
100%, इट्स एब्सोल्युटली राइट, बिकॉज नेटवर्क बेसिक्स, राउटिंग इज द कोर ऑफ नेटवर्किंग। अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है पैकेट शुरू कहाँ से हो रहा है, राइट? सो फर्स्ट यू गो विद द राउटिंग, दैट नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी, एंड अभी मैं नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी में ही आई एम अराउंड 30 पॉइंट समथिंग, राइट? 30 एलपी। सो आप ना एक ये एक सीडी, इट्स लाइक अ लैडर। आप राउटिंग के साथ जाओगे, आप थोड़ा थोड़ा वायरलेस और सिक्योरिटी, यू विल गो विद फायरवॉल्स लाइक पेलो अल्टो, फोर्टिगेट, फिर आप धीरे धीरे आप साइबर की तरफ जा सकते हो। एंड मतलब आपको ना एक कोर नेटवर्क की नॉलेज होना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर आप डायरेक्ट साइबर पे जंप करोगे, सो यू वॉन्ट बी लाइक एबल टू सी हाउ पैकेट इज ट्रैवलिंग, व्हाट्स हैपनिंग, हाउ डू वी अप्लाई सिक्योरिटीज, हमारी पॉलिसीज कैसे लगती है, ट्रस्ट जोन, वट एवर इट इज। सो अगर हम डायरेक्ट साइबर में जा रहे हैं, सो साइबर बहुत बड़ा है, इट्स वेरी ह्यूज। उसके लिए भी यू नीड अ प्रॉपर गाइडेंस, लाइक कि somebody शुड गाइड कि आप विच डोमेन यू शुड चूज। सो बेसिकली राउटिंग इज बेसिक, मतलब आपको शुरू तो यहीं से ही करना है, जैसे मतलब मेरे भी जर्नी यहीं से ही शुरू हुई है। सो 0 1 2 3 यू गो दिस वे। अगर आप डायरेक्ट साइबर पे जाओगे, देयर यू वुड फेस, माइट फेस अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स, बट द करेक्ट पाथ इज कि आप राउटिंग से शुरू करो, गो विद नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी। पेशेंस इज की, पेशेंस एंड ट्रस्ट, आपको पेशेंस तो रखना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू बी पेशेंट इनफ दैट कि हाँ चीजें धीरे धीरे होती है, इट माइट टेक 3 to 4 years, 5 years, बट उसके बाद ना आपके अगर बेसिक स्ट्रॉन्ग है, ये अभी नेटवर्किंग में नहीं, कहीं पे भी अगर आपके बेसिक स्ट्रॉन्ग है ना, सो आई डोंट थिंक यू विल फेस एनी इश्यूज और आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा। आपको बैक एंड फ्रो सारी चीजें पता ही होगी, इन एंड आउट की चल क्या रहा है। तो बेसिकली डायरेक्ट जंपिंग टू द साइबर और एनी अदर थिंग आप कहीं पे जाओ, सो दैट डजंट मेक्स एनी सेंस। पेशेंस रखो, 4-5 साल लगेंगे, 3-4 साल, बट यू वुड बी, आप वहीं पे होंगे जहां आप सोच रहे हो। आप अगर 50 एलपी सोच रहे हो, आप 50 एलपी पे ही लैंड करोगे, बट अभी इतना टाइम हम लोग वेस्ट कर चुके हैं, मैं ऑलरेडी 5-6 साल वेस्ट कर चुका था। तो थोड़ा पेशेंस और ट्रस्ट, मतलब आपको, वी हैव टू ट्रस्ट यू गाइस कि हाँ ये होगा, ये होगा, ऐसे होगा। डाउट सबको आते हैं, मेरे को भी आते हैं, मेरे को तो अभी अभी भी आ रहा था रिसेंट प्लेसमेंट्स में भी। सो डाउट्स आते हैं, बट ट्रस्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ट्रस्ट और थोड़ा पेशेंस, टाइम लगता है, थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, बट आई नो कि मेरे साथ हुआ है। मेरे फ्रेंड्स भी है दो तीन, गोकुल, हिमसी, ये सब। सो ये भी प्लेस्ड है, अच्छे प्लेस्ड है, अच्छा कर रहे हैं। सो माइट टेक सम टाइम, बट थोड़ा सा पेशेंस और ट्रस्ट ये इंपॉर्टेंट है। बाकी इंटरव्यू उसकी, यू गाइस नीड नॉट टू वरी, देयर आर परफेक्ट सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, परफेक्ट ट्रेनर्स, करिकुलम बहुत अच्छा है, उसके बारे में तो कुछ बोलने की बात ही नहीं है। इंटरव्यूज भी क्लियर हो जाते हैं। पेशेंस और ट्रस्ट रखना, बस ये दो इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं मेरे अकॉर्डिंग। मतलब
Thank you, Vikalp. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. But I have spotted something in the feedback that you were giving. So you have named few of the people like Himsi and other few candidates. So
Yes.
just a quick question. आप किस अपने टीममेट से जो आपके साथ बैच में थे उस टाइम, किससे बहुत ज्यादा इंस्पायर हो अभी तक, और कौन आपके टच में आपको ऐसा लगता है दैट दे आर डूइंग ग्रेट इन देयर करियर?
या गोकुल, मतलब ही इज वन ऑफ माय बैचमेट उस टाइम के, एंड ही इज डूइंग गुड। मतलब अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजीज पे काम कर रहा है। मेराकी, यस, 48 फायरवॉल्स, उसके टच में। आई एम टच विद हिमसी एज वेल, हमारी मतलब सेम बैचमेट, एंड एवरीबॉडी इज इन टच विद यू गाइस, है ना। मतलब हमारे साथ साथ
But
वो आपके टच
we
में है।
have to, we
सो
have
दे आर
to.
डूइंग ग्रेट, एवरीबॉडी इज कमिंग फॉर द रिप्लेसमेंट्स, वन आफ्टर 1 year और 2 year, एंड यू गाइस आर हेल्पिंग, यू आर गाइडिंग विद द राइट टेक्नोलॉजी। हमें किस डायरेक्शन में जाना है, दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट। क्या पाथ फॉलो करना है। टेक्नोलॉजीज आई मेंशन्ड अर्लियर, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजीज, यू वुड बी कंफ्यूज इन द मार्केट की मतलब क्या करे क्या नहीं करे, बट एक प्रॉपर गाइडेंस, राइट पाथ, राइट टेक्नोलॉजी सिलेक्शन है, दैट्स मोर इंपॉर्टेंट। मतलब
Yes.
योर टेक्नोलॉजी शुड बी अलाइंड विद योर प्रीवियस वर्क व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, सो दैट्स मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन बीइंग, मतलब वी वर्क, सो हमें इतना पता नहीं होता। सो यू गाइस आर एक्सपर्ट इन द मार्केट, यू सी पीपल कमिंग, थाउजेंड ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स और हंड्रेड्स ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स कम टू यू, सो यू नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, हाउ इट वर्क्स, ये चल कैसे रही है। सो का ना, मतलब मैंने और जो मैं बता रहा हूँ इनका, हमने आप पे छोड़ा हुआ है कि करना क्या है। हमारा तो ट्रस्ट है, बिकॉज हम तो मतलब इतने टाइम से रिप्लेसमेंट हो चुके हैं। सो मतलब दैट्स मोर इम्पोर्टेंट सब।
Thank you, Vikalp. What a beautiful feedback that you have shared. Thank you so much for joining. Thank
थैंक
you.
यू,
Thank you. Bye
थैंक
bye.
यू, थैंक यू।
Everyone, we are back, and now Mrs. Namita Lothia will take over the call. Over to you, Namita ma'am. I hope I'm audible and visible to you.
Yes, Anjali, you are audible and visible clearly. Thank you for the welcome. And guys, let me share my screen so that we can discuss what exactly we have promised today. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. So, guys, I hope you had a great workshop today with us, and you learned so many things from today. And before we will talk about जो हमने promise किया, let me introduce myself. My name is Namita, and I'm working with NG from last 11 plus years as the head of the counseling department. So yes, आज के सेशन, आज के वर्कशॉप में हमने आपको प्रॉमिस किया वन गारंटेड इंटरव्यू. सो हाउ इट वर्क्स, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इट. फॉर वी विल टॉक कि हम आपको गारंटेड इंटरव्यू क्या 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 कैसे देंगे, उसके बारे में बात करने से पहले वी विल टॉक अबाउट रिटर्न गारंटी. सो व्हाट वी बिल्ड करियर्स एक्चुअली मीन्स वी आर ऑफरिंग यू 100% जॉब गारंटी. तो सिर्फ हम आपको बता या बोल नहीं रहे हैं कि हम आपको जॉब गारंटी दे देंगे. वी आर गिविंग यू अ रिटर्न कमिटमेंट. ठीक है. सो अगर आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं, पता नहीं चीजें कितना ठीक होंगी या नहीं होंगी, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. हम आपको सिर्फ बोल नहीं रहे हैं, हर एक चीज आपको रिटर्न में दी जाएगी. इवन जो भी आपने वर्कशॉप में डिस्कस किया है या अभी आगे करने वाले हो.
नहीं, यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी कंफ्यूजन है नमिता, आप किस चीज की गारंटी दे रहे हो, मतलब वो बात समझ में नहीं आई.
आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द जॉब गारंटी. व्हाट डज इट मीन?
नहीं क्यों, मतलब अभी तो वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट, इससे पहले पीपीटी में यू वर टॉकिंग अबाउट कि एक गारंटेड इंटरव्यू दे रहे हैं, तो ये जॉब गारंटी का टॉपिक क्या है. आई थिंक मैं थोड़ा सा लग रहा है कि जो यहाँ पे यू मीन टू से कि वी आर हैविंग द प्रोग्राम्स जिसमें हम 100% जॉब गारंटी देते हैं, इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन.
Yes.
एग्जैक्टली, ओके, गॉट इट, प्लीज कंटिन्यू.
So we are having some courses where we are offering you guaranteed job in return. So yes, I'm talking about the same thing, that where we are offering you 100% job commitment. And like you are having two options for that programs. One is the NDS and the second one is CAUS. NDS stands for Network Data Specialist and CAUS stands for Cyber Operations Specialist. So अगर आपको सर बता चुके हैं और नहीं भी बताया तो एक बार मैं दोबारा रिपीट कर देती हूँ. एनडीएस मतलब आपको डाउट होगा या फिर कंफ्यूजन होगा कौन किस प्रोग्राम को चूज कर सकता है. ऑलरेडी अगर आप मतलब हो आईटी से बिलोंग करते हो, यू कैन चूज द कॉज प्रोग्राम. एंड कंप्लीटली न्यू हो आईटी के अंदर, देन यू कैन चूज द एनडीएस वन. सो इन द एनडीएस प्रोग्राम योर करियर पाथ विल बी नॉक नेटवर्क ऑपरेशन सेंटर. एंड कॉज के अंदर आपको मिलेगा सॉक प्रोफाइल, सिक्योरिटी ऑपरेशन सेंटर. फोकस किस में रहेगा? एनडीएस में फोकस करोगे नेटवर्क अवेलेबिलिटी एंड परफॉर्मेंस पे. एंड कॉज के अंदर आप फोकस करोगे सिक्योरिटी मॉनिटरिंग एंड इंसिडेंट रिस्पॉन्सेज पे. ओके. एंड आपको एनडीएस के अंदर काम करने को मिलेगा राउटर स्विचेस डेटा सेंटर के अंदर, राइट, बीजीपी एमपीएलएस के अंदर, एंड द अदर साइड इन द कोर्स यू विल वर्क ऑन द सिम ईडीआर लॉग्स अलर्ट्स एंड थ्रेड्स। एनबीएस के अंदर यू आर गोइंग टू हैंडल नेटवर्क आउटेजेस लेटेंसी एंड कनेक्टिविटी, एंड द कोर्स यू आर गोइंग टू हैंडल साइबर अटैक्स ब्रीचेस एंड सस्पिशियस एक्टिविटी। एनडीएस के अंदर आपका गोल है कीप systems up and stable, and on the other side in the course you are going to work, आपका जो गोल रहेगा that will be keep systems secure and protected। एनडीएस में हम आपको एंट्री रोल दिलवा रहे हैं एज अ नॉक इंजीनियर और नेटवर्क इंजीनियर, एंड कोर्स के अंदर आपको मिलेगा सॉक एनालिस्ट L1 और L2 प्रोफाइल, एंड एनडीएस के अंदर आपकी फ्यूचर ग्रोथ रहेगी सीआईओ के अंदर, एंड इन दी कोर्स यू आर गोइंग टू मतलब आपको ग्रोथ मिलने वाली है सीसो के अंदर। सो दिस इज हाउ दिस प्रोग्राम विल वर्क। आई होप इट इज क्लियर। प्रोग्राम्स आर क्लियर गाइस, आप कौन सा प्रोग्राम चूज कर सकते हो अपने लिए और एग्जैक्टली क्या हम कवर करवाने वाले हैं इन प्रोग्राम्स के अंदर। नाउ लेट्स मूव फर्दर, एंड यस यू कैन चेक आवर ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड। वी आर इन द मार्केट फ्रॉम लास्ट 11 प्लस ईयर्स एज आई टोल्ड यू। तो हमारे लाइक वी हैव बीन चेंज सो मेनी लाइव्स इन दीज ईयर्स, एंड अगर आप हमारे ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड चेक करना चाहते हो तो हमारा एक पेज है एनजी नेटवर्क्स रिव्यूज के नाम से। जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स ऑलरेडी प्लेस्ड है हमारे थ्रू वो बता रहे हैं अपनी जर्नी के बारे में, अपने फीडबैक के बारे में, कैसे उन्होंने एनजी स्टार्ट किया, कैसे पता लगा एग्जैक्टली उनका क्या रिव्यू या फीडबैक रहा है प्रोग्राम्स को लेकर। सो यस यू कैन चेक आउट रिव्यूज ऑन द पेज एनजी नेटवर्क्स रिव्यूज पे जो होगा, और प्रोग्राम आप अपने अकॉर्डिंगली चूज कर सकते हैं जो भी आपको ठीक लग रहा है। एंड यस यू हैव टू कंप्लीट द रजिस्ट्रेशन अकॉर्डिंगली, देन वी आर गोइंग टू ऑफर यू दिस गारंटेड इंटरव्यू जो अभी हमने बात की थी। सो नाउ लेट्स बैक टू द सेम। हमने आपको ऑफर किया वन गारंटेड इंटरव्यू जिसके लिए आपको आज रजिस्टर करना होगा। जितने भी कैंडिडेट्स आज रजिस्टर करते हैं उन सबको 3 डेज का टाइम मिलेगा इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन के लिए। आपकी डेली क्लासेस होंगी 1.5 आवर्स की, 1.5 घंटे की, जहाँ पे हम आपको प्रिपेयर करा रहे हैं 3 डेज के लिए। और आपको सिर्फ सुनना नहीं है, उन 3 डेज में ना आपको प्रिपेयर करने हैं अपने आप को ना उस इंटरव्यू के लिए, तभी हम आपको भेज रहे हैं आगे फर्दर गारंटेड इंटरव्यू के लिए। सो दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स। इस तरीके से काम करेगा। 3 दिन की क्लास होगी 1.5 घंटे की, आपको प्रिपेयर करना है उस इंटरव्यू के लिए। जब आप प्रिपेयर कर लोगे देन वी आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड यू दिस गारंटेड इंटरव्यू टू यू। सो दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स, एंड यस यू हैव टू रजिस्टर योरसेल्फ, देन ओनली यू विल गेट दिस गारंटेड थिंग। आपको द गारंटेड इंटरव्यू तभी मिलेगा जब आप आज खुद को रजिस्टर कर लोगे।
I hope you enjoy the entire session, and thank you, Namita, for all the explanation. No, but I'm from the last 1 year, I'm not working on any devices, so we don't have project though. Mental's communication, is it possible to get above 9 lakh per annum? Yes, of course. The highest placement one shot we have given 17 lakh salary into the Cisco. The name of the candidate is so on. You can check on our website or somewhere else. So this is package is not a big deal. The point is the preparation. Minimum we will give you the 6 lakh guarantee. It will not go less than a 6 lakh. Rest, if you want to go to 7, 8, 9 or 10, whatever is your target, prepare accordingly. So guys, we are already done with the time duration what we have committed. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you liked the session. Please give us the feedback. आप अपना please review देना अच्छा है, और कोई कमी लगे तो write it to us. हमारी support ID है। अगर आपको लगता है इसको और better किया जा सकता है, if you want to make it better, please reach out to us. support@ngnetworks.in. Please share if you have anything. If you don't find anything relevant to you, if you don't find it, if you want make any changes or any recommendation, reach out to us on our email ID. Let us know how we can make it better. And if you like it, if you want to appreciate it, go to social media and please write about us. Thank you very much. Available on LinkedIn as well, my company, on YouTube and everywhere. Please reach out to us, like us, follow us, and okay, bye Shanil, everyone. Bye. Take care. Bye.